your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
That's our friend Renee. Lemon.
I don't get the reference. Please inform me.
That's a 30 Rock reference. So.
Okay.
Liz Lemon was Tina Fey's character on that show. So yeah.
Well, that was in Poland and it wasn't in Germany. But welcome to Brothers and Booze, the Oktoberfest edition. You couldn't tell by your host that it's Oktoberfest, but trust us, it is.
Please do.
My stuff did not come in this weekend, Doug. So
I
had some things,
so I'm good.
Well, I had a hat.
Oh, you didn't get your lederhosen or anything?
I didn't get it, but I did get the old Chub Hub last night. So where y'all Steeler fans at tonight? Anyway.
Hey, I read that a whole different way, dude.
Where are y'all Steeler fans at? We had one last week. The timing was all off, but the timing is not off for this one, Doug, which is Hofbrau.
Hofbrau. That's beer.
Yeah. And a shaker pint, looking all nice and fest-beery. It is fest beer time. It is Oktoberfest time. I'm happy.
Marathon time.
This is not a marathon, actually. This is a fest beer, technically, and golden lagers, really nice. As y'all know, most of y'all know fest beers are different than Oktoberfest beers. We have a perfect guest tonight to tell us about that, the differences and all that. But before we get there, Doug, what are you drinking? And I got a nice story for everybody.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to start with an NA Oktoberfest from Athletic Brewing.
Okay.
So I just got that, and I had to because I like having NAs on the show here and there because I like to demonstrate that that's actually a real valid thing, and you have a lot of diversity of styles. So I had this. Actually, I've had this like a week ago when I got it.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You got it via mail?
Mm-hmm. No, I actually bought it at the local beer store near me, and so yeah, look at that. Yeah, so you know how I am with the aggressive pours. So cheers to you folks. This is very good. It is not. It's a little not as. It's not really exactly to style, but it's pretty damn close for an NA beer to not have the booze in it. So cheers, Prost. It's all you.
All that. Yes. The thing that really sucks. One of the things that sucks about StreamYard. I'm just letting y'all know. How is it?
Really good. Like I said, if you're going to have a fest beer or a marathon, it's slightly off from that, but it's about as good as a reputation you can get without the booze element too. So I appreciate them making an effort for that. So like I had to give it a shot here in the show. So
yeah, and I wish that our guests could see other guests in the green room because our guest tonight's reaction, and I can't hear him, but I could see him when you poured that. Oh, we're gonna have to talk to him about this. But before we get there, Doug, real quick, y'all know that I homeschool, and y'all also know that my boys are coming of age. They're 16 and 18, and so Doug, part of the education process is that they wanted to learn how to do social media and all this shit, and it's really interesting. So me being their college counselor and their math teacher and all that stuff, I figured let's just put them through some social media things. One of the things that that y'all have told me over the years that I pretty much suck at, and everybody's told me, so I kind of know it is true, is taking pictures. I'm not good at it. I don't like it. But at the same time, given that I do a lot of traveling and a lot of picture taking, I should get better at this. So I've been bringing them along as far as picture taking goes because I want them to know, want them to help me, but I also want them to understand the importance of it and all that. Long story short, we started a couple weeks ago, and the first couple times that they did it, it was awful. And the first couple times they did it, I told them it was awful. And sometimes I use really harsh words like, this is terrible, and this sucks. And And I could tell because some of the times it was the process of they were just rushing through it, Doug. And they were just, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is another thing I have to do. And I'm like, that's just not going to work for me. And it's never going to work for you. And you just better clean up your shit. We can do better and we should do better. And there's no reason we can't do better. So, long story short, after a few times, we ended up with a really nice picture of an Oktoberfest beer that they took a couple days ago. And once I saw the pictures, Doug, my first reaction to them in our private chat was, these are awesome. This is what I was talking about. It's superb. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Is the words that I used to them. And they were like, yeah, man. So then I turned on my social media this morning to see this. And
whoa!
So you could see the original picture, and then you could see that obviously a brewery that we all love, we all admire, we all love their shit. I don't know what they're saying up there. Maybe somebody could translate that shit. But the fact that New Glarus Brewery, who brews that beer, thought that our picture was good enough. I didn't have anything to do with this picture at all, remotely. My kids did it. And I knew it was superb when I saw it because I'm like, that looks fucking awesome. And obviously, New Glarus Brewing thinks it's awesome too because they use it on their social media. So kudos to my sons. Shout out to them for doing a great job. But Doug, I don't know if it would have been, I don't know if it would ever happen if I wasn't critical of them at the time that they needed criticism. And I wasn't afraid to tell them that something that they did sucked. And it's just what it was. They sucked. The pictures sucked. They looked like I took them. And that's bad because I take bad pictures. But the moral of this whole story is, don't lie to your kids. Be straight up with them. And if they're doing something that is, that they could do better, push them. Push your kids. They're going to be so average and normal if you're like, oh, that was really good, but you could do better. No, tell them it sucks. Tell them it sucks. And give them criticism why. Don't call them names. Make sure I said your project sucked. I didn't say you sucked. I said the product that y'all give me sucked. So is this really, really good feedback to tell them the damn truth, whether you want to or not? Listen, 16 and 18, they can take the criticism. I'm not talking about they're 6 or 8, okay? I got it.
Yeah.
But right, there is a difference. But even then, you could say, hey, we could do better and a little bit of encouragement. But my point is that hold them accountable. And really, that's it. And they will respond in a good way. You are the first line of defense here as a parent. Like, hold them accountable. On some level, in this instance, fuck their feelings. And make sure that they know why you're saying the criticism. So if you say it sucks, tell them why. You didn't crop it right. The sun's in here. It's blurry. I mean, there's just so many things that I could, have said. So whatever I said and whatever I did to motivate them worked, and it was a great story, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. Doug, do you have any comments on that as a parent before we get to our guest who's not a parent? So, yeah, go. Here you go. Right. Go, buddy.
All right. So I have 4 kids, and all of them are different in how you give criticism. All of them. Like, they all take criticism completely differently. One of my kids, yeah. Another one takes criticism so deeply that it, like, if you criticize them, it looks like you shot their cat. Like, that's how they react.
My 16-year-old is like that. Yep.
And it's a little hard to try to be like, hey. So with them, I have to have a little bit of a softer approach. Doesn't mean that I'm not critical. It means like, hey, this could be done if you did this. Now others, I can, like my youngest, I could be like, hey man, that sucked. What are you doing? And he would be like, yeah, I know. I'll do better next time. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't take it. But I think it's a lot of tailoring how your kids react. It doesn't mean you can't be critical. It means, like, for the way I parent, it's more of like, all right, I know that you can do better than this. It doesn't mean I am mad at you. It means, you can do better. Here's how you can do better. And I think your point where you like point out how that can be improved. I think that's
you have to do that. You have to do that.
Yeah.
As a parent, in my opinion, because otherwise it comes off as, you know what I mean? You're just criticism. You have to be able to point out what's wrong, you know what I mean, in order to guide them through that. But at the same time, I don't know if you should be almost ever afraid of really telling them what's wrong, because when they get out to the real world, Doug, what's going to happen? You already know. You know what I mean? People are going to be harsh as fuck.
I've had that conversation with my wife a few times about how we go approach that. I'm like, what's going to happen when the real world kind of come and punches them in the snout?
Right. Or
you're going to have to learn that. So
yeah, and sometimes they don't even criticize you, Doug. You're just fired. You know, you show up with a pink slip. Sometimes they don't give you criticism. They don't give you time to figure it out. You're just fucking fired.
You're gone.
That's it. Right. So then you don't even get any feedback. So like, yeah. Anyway, I'm just proud of them in this aspect. So, and I'm just happy that my criticism worked. It doesn't always work, and you'll never hear those stories when it doesn't work. So
as we do in content world, is you give the rosy picture.
Right. This is social media. You get the best of us, and the worst of us you're not going to find out about, because everything's happy and great. And what's also happy and great is that we have a great guest tonight. We wanted to have other people, past guests, come on and talk about Oktoberfest. I didn't really get much of feedback on that, so I don't know who's coming, but I do know my friend Jon Whitaker. Oh, look at that, an on-screen kiss.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever had one of those.
Greg just gave me the.
What is
kiss.
this?
We've never had one of those.
What the fuck is this stream coming to?
Hey,
oh my goodness!
You know, Joe and I, we're very lovey to each other all the time.
Oh man, I mean, I'm just saying, man, we got all kinds of, what do they call it?
PDA, public display.
PDA, right? Look at that! It's Oktoberfest. Kiss your mate. Love it. Someone who I'm not going to kiss probably is our guest, but he's a good guy regardless. Damn it. And he's my friend, and we're working on a project together. Found him on Beard Twitter. He's a certified Cicerone, Doug, so we could ask him all kinds of fucking beer questions. He's a world traveler. He's been around the world more than, I don't know about more than you, but he's been around the world more than me.
I really haven't been that many places.
Right, but he's been to a few places. He's a soccer head. He's a chicken wing lover. Everything I love about this guy. His name is Jon Whitaker. We're bringing him on right now.
Jon,
what's up?
What's up, Jon? How you doing?
Man, I wanted to throw my 2 cents. I'm not a parent, but I wanted to throw 2 cents into that sort of tough love thing. There's something that my parents, especially my dad, always did when I was young. And looking back, I really appreciated it. And it was almost like the rule of 3. And I use that with friends. I use that with family. I use it with people when I was a manager. Whereas you come to me and something shitty happened, you say, I'm sorry, that sucks. Let me know if I can help. Second time, hey, this same thing happened again. I'm sorry, that sucks. Let me help. Third time, then you go, okay, I love you and I'm sorry you're feeling this way, but this is the third time this happened. We need to figure something out so this doesn't happen again. And you need to think about maybe this might be something that you're doing, you know? Mm-hmm. And it sucked as a kid to hear that. But looking back, it's like, okay, it's possibly you're making decisions that you need to stop making because these things keep happening to you. You know what I mean? If you always keep, man, I always have a problem with my bosses at work. Man, this boss is an asshole. I'm gonna quit my job. This boss is an asshole. It's like, maybe not every single boss you've ever had is an asshole, you know?
Right. Maybe you're the asshole.
Yeah. And I always appreciated that. It's like, because I appreciate it because the first instinct was sympathy and empathy. I'm sorry, that sucks. Let me figure it out. I'm sorry, that sucks. Let me figure it out. Then like, okay, I can only be sorry so much. We got to fix this, and so it doesn't keep happening. But yeah. Oh, and thank you for the wonderful intro. I'm already on to my second beer, you know, because you guys are so long-winded. So you know.
Yeah.
We're hard.
We do that. We do that all the time. So what do you have?
I am rocking the bar none best Oktoberfest beer on the planet. If it's in my top 5 of all time beers. It's not my favorite beer of all time. It's the Eyinger Oktoberfest Märzen. It's one of the.
I almost picked one of those up too.
I think I hopefully have one of those.
If it's undrafted, a local brew pub, get it because it's not something they send a lot of to the States. I'd only get a couple kegs every year. It's one of those where, like, in my beer circles, when we're talking about the best Oktoberfest style beers this time of year, this one's never even brought up because there's an assumption that it's the best, so you don't even need to like bring it up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like,
assumed.
yeah, you start listing things off. And you're like, what about Eyinger? It's like, well, yeah, we've that's been decided.
That's a given.
That's settled.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about second place here.
Yeah.
Also,
Excellent.
We also
It's-
need to
it's-
discuss. Apparently, I poured my beer wrong, so I'd like to hear your feedback on me pouring my beers wrong.
Oh no, I was just saying. I was just giving my the private chat. That was just my opinion on that specific beer, not necessarily the pour. Overly aggressive is always better than not aggressive enough. Too much, and just if you got stupid puns to make, just get them out of the way now. But too much head is always better than not enough head on the beer.
Oh,
That's a pretty good rule of life.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Get the puns out of the way. Let's just get them out there. If you got anything, let's just no. Because if you're an aggressive pour, you're pulling the CO2 out. You're getting the aromatics from those volatiles and stuff like that. Where if you don't, you're missing all those beautiful aromatics, all those volatiles that's coming with those volatiles, which is the aromas that are coming up with the CO2, those bubbles, and also you're consuming all that CO2. You know, like you're gonna be, it's always, there's a certain way you want to pour a beer, but over aggressive pouring is almost always better than not aggressive, too
So
late.
it was more the beer you were marking on versus the
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Well, let's hear your opinion.
Well, let's hear your
Let's
opinion.
go.
It's not. I don't want to denigrate. Athletic is doing some really cool stuff, and their growth lately is just massive. And I mean, and I might have sent in an application to them, so I don't want to be too rough. might have sent in a job application. No, but it's probably just. I'm not sure how they go about their de-alcohol process, but it's just you just can't get that body. You know what I mean?
No, you can't. And I agree with you. It is about as good a representation you can get without the alcohol process in it.
And it should be, because like when I think Oktoberfest, I think a bit of a heavier, slightly leaning on the sweet side, and that's just it's a bit of a sharp. It almost comes off as sour when I've had that one, and I was just like, because I was with a friend who we were at an event and he was with his kid, so he was staying sober, and he had that, and I was a little disappointed, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, not all their stuff is home runs. Their Gosa, which I've had on the show, is fucking phenomenal. They're downwind.
The Gosa, nice. I could see that.
Yeah, and then Greg, I gave you one of those. So
Yeah, this one is so slammable. Oh my god, this is so
this beer, the Eyinger is just, it's just absolutely stunning. It's just stunning.
So
John,
go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
I'm sorry. While I go and get another beer and check on my boys, y'all can hold this down a little bit. Doug, I know you had a question for John, so ask him that. But also get John to tell us who he is, because nobody knows. But me, I know. But anyway, I'll be back.
Yeah. All right. So let's hear about you, and then I have a question for you regarding Eyinger, because I have a comment.
I don't know, Jon Whitaker. I'm currently in Kansas City. I've been back and forth between, just basically give me I-70 in Missouri, Kansas City, St. Louis, Columbia, Lawrence, Kansas City, St. Louis. It's just back and forth, and I'm just happen to be settled in Kansas City right now. I'm currently in the process of trying to get back to living abroad, getting another grad degree abroad. But I've been in craft beer about 12 years. A little over 12 years now. Wow. Dear God almighty.
Time flies, right?
Yeah, I got out of law school in 2009. Couldn't find a job to save my life, like a lot of people, and started bartending at a local beer bar in spring of 2010, because I was living with my parents and I had about $400 to my name, and kept looking for work, and decided that I really was into beer, and had fun working with the small business that had a pretty aggressive plan for some growth over the next decade or so. And I just sort of moved around and helped them open up beer bars, and sort of ended up managing the whole beer program for them and all sorts of stuff like that. So I did all of our training, all of our education, did a lot of our events and stuff like that. Any event that had an educational or sort of like a really heavy beer centric focus versus just like, a Mardi Gras party or a Super Bowl party or something like that. Yeah, I got my Cicerone back in 2012, so almost 10 years ago. Been off and on studying for the advanced. It's just a financial commitment, and I'm sure I don't know if you guys have heard of a very wonderful human being named Neil Whitty, who was one of the first master Cicerones from way back in the day. And I had a conversation with him about getting the advanced. And he goes, well, first thing you need to do is like, is this an ego thing or is this a professional thing? Because he goes, plenty of people get this stuff just for an ego thing. They just want to have something to validate people. People like you want to validate, a decade of busting their ass in the industry and learning literally everything they can about beer. Or is this something you think that you can immediately apply and, get a promotion at work or get a better job or whatever? But so I've been kind of off and on with that. And it's such a huge financial commitment because, it's the study materials, and then it's a 2-day exam. And sometimes you got to travel to take the exam. And you're looking at $1,500 to $2,000, and it's just, yeah. So just sort of hanging out now, looking for the next step in my career, just hanging out at a brewery, bartending and hanging out and chatting with the brewers and talking to people about beer, which was nice because it's something I hadn't done in a while. I'm just sort of waiting to see what my next step is, which, as it turns out, might be moving back to Europe. So I'm getting my MBA and trying my luck at the beer industry out there. Yeah.
Nice. So the only thing I had to say about Eyinger is that I almost picked that up, and then I picked up something else that was a local beer because I've had Eyinger more than a few times.
Yeah.
And it's so good, but it was just, I wanted to try something different because I try to profile things that are local to me. And which I have. And my camera's being a little fuzzy, so I don't know if anybody can see this. This is the Copper Legend from Jack's Abbey out of Vermont. It's not just regular Oktoberfest. So trying to see if it's Fest beer or Märzen. They don't really specify in the can. So I'm going to assume Fest beer.
If it's copper, probably leaning towards Vienna Lager or Märzen.
Yeah,
there was always a joke for a long time. Bob's 47 from Boulevard. Their Oktoberfest style beer for the longest time. Every other year, if you go somewhere, they call it a Märzen, and then they would call it a Vienna Lager the next year to kind of go back and forth. It's just it's such a hard thing to pin down.
Yeah.
Because Oktoberfest really isn't a style. It's more of the beers that they were selling during Oktoberfest. And technically, if you're in Germany, only beers within a certain geographical designation around Munich can call their beers Oktoberfest. And the beers that are served at Oktoberfest the guidelines are essentially set by the local Oktoberfest government committee or something like that. And so Märzen's, the heavier, darker ones, that was for the longest time, that's what was served. But since the early 90s, it's been more of the Fest beer, which is basically just a heavier lager or an export lager. Probably it lines up actually pretty close to like a Dortmunder even, I think.
This is definitely more the Märzen style.
Yeah, looks pretty ambery. Yeah, this is why it's cool. The Eyinger calls theirs Oktoberfest Märzen. It's a beer for Oktoberfest, but it's in the Märzen style. So, and I also have a local brewery, Kansas City Beer Company, that makes just phenomenal classic German brews, and I have their Fest beer as well. But oddly enough, they call it the Fest beer, but the owner of the company says, yeah, but it's actually technically a Vienna Lager, and it's just kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ, make your fucking mind up. Yeah, because it was like, because I'd have staff all the time being like, hey, because we'd sell the shit out of Oktoberfests and Vienna Lagers and Fest beers. And they'd be like, what's the difference between a Märzen and Oktoberfest, a Fest beer, and a Vienna Lager? And I was like, I don't know. That's a really good question. So, yeah. But no, Oktoberfest is sort of just the overarching designation you give to all the beers that are coming out now. And so you have Märzen, you're more likely to see in the U.S. nowadays. You don't see that darker. You don't see that amber color quite as much in Germany.
Speaking of, that's what I got next.
At the Märzen? Yeah, because they have another one called their Fest beer is called the Wiesen, I want to say. I speak a little Dutch. I don't speak German. So if I try to pronounce German, it's going to come off as someone that knows a little bit of Dutch. It's the Wiesen. Paulaner makes one of those as well, which is more more what you would see at like the actual Oktoberfest festival. Which, and to make it more confusing, Oktoberfest starts in September. So there you go.
Right. It started last Saturday. We've been going for 2 weeks. So we're gonna say, John. No, go, John.
No, and I was going to say too that the whole Märzen thing comes from beers were originally they could only, since they didn't have refrigeration, they could only brew beers for such a certain period of time, and so come April-ish they'd have to stop brewing beers because they get too warm. The beers would develop bacteria and get infected and all that fun stuff.
Because they're all lagers, right?
Back in the day, well, no, it wasn't that it was all lagers. It was just they just didn't have refrigeration. Period. You know, the things would get, even the caves that they would store them in would get too warm. And so then they'd have this Oktoberfest festival where it's like, okay, let's take all these stronger, heavier beers. You know, Märzens are, you know, high 5s, low 6s in percentage in alcohol. And they said, hey, it's September. Let's take all this shit we've had in the caves for the past 6 months and get fucked up.
Wasn't it so relaxing though? It's just so relaxing.
Oh, it's so relaxing. It's a Frank Sinatra song.
Frank Sinatra song?
It's all of me. Yeah. All of me.
Oh my God, I can listen to this shit all day.
Goodbye. Let's be with eyes to cry.
Oh, we're so gonna get tagged on that one.
Yeah. Hey, also, can I just say that folks, I can't play an instrument or musical instrument at all. And if you're playing a musical instrument and pedaling a bike at the same time, that's like drummer level shit. That's stuff. I would fall right off that fucking bike.
I also got to pimp the glass. Like I'm rocking the German Weinstefaner soccer boot, football boot.
And it has the cleats in the bottom.
Oh yeah,
too. That's
for sure. It was awesome to have people spill these all over the bar I was managing over and over. Oh, the bubble got me. The bubble got me. The bubble got me. The bubble just got me. Oh, the bubble just got me.
Hey,
toe to the side. Always toe to the side. Never toe up. That's a rookie mistake.
Yeah. Hey, I've spilled beer on this show where it spurted out of the can and went all over my keyboard. So let's just say that's not even been nearly the worst spill we've had on this show.
Yeah. Then you got trolled by Afro Beer Chick on that one. Hard. That was awesome.
And rightfully so. Let's just say
that was awesome. That was awesome. She just pops in and out at the right time. She's got that timing, Doug. I don't know if you're not like she's everybody's busy on Friday, so no disrespect. But when she does pop in, she's always popping in at an epic time. But anyway, where to go with this, y'all?
Did you have a question, Doug?
Yeah. No, okay, my thing was just about the Eyinger that I picked up a different beer.
Oh, gotcha.
I had this 4-pack of it in my hand. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get something local because I've had this a lot. Yeah. And it's a great beer, but I want to get something different so I can kind of showcase it. But man, now you make me wish I would have bought that 4-pack.
Oh yeah. There's a synergy between a lot of things in beer. One thing there definitely is a synergy between is beer and soccer. Now, I know Doug's not a huge soccer head, but beer and soccer are just, I mean, it's just, there's almost no separating the two. And John, you are big fans of both, clearly. So I don't know if you want to talk to that a little bit as far as, have you always played soccer? Was that your childhood thing?
Yeah, I grew up.
Respectfully, you're getting up there in age now. A little bit. You're still playing.
Hey. Some of us are older than both.
He's still playing. He's still kicking. Right. So if you're in your 4th decade of going around the sun and you're still playing the sport, to me that shows basically your love of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like right. So I don't know if you want to speak to that or anything. Only admiration coming towards you because Doug and I are too fucking lazy to be playing anything at this point of our life.
We have other reasons to maybe be a little concerned about doing strenuous sports, but please go
ahead. But Doug, if we were doing strenuous sports, we wouldn't be where the fuck we are now. Yeah, but anyway. Sorry. Go on, John. Right. Let's Doug and I go over here and argue, and John, you can take the.
It's weird. No, it's weird because you find a lot of people that, you know, sort of gravitate to both. Like, I live in Kansas City. If you go to a Chiefs game or a Royals game and people are tailgating, you know, you might see some local stuff, some boulevards, some other smaller local breweries, some craft, but you're mostly seeing macros. You know, you're seeing AB products and Miller Coors products, which is fine. But if you go to like a Sporting KC match, you'll see some of that. But in the tailgating, when you're tailgating, it is craft beer for days. Like, you walk through the tailgates, you hang out with people that are grilling out, kicking the soccer ball around, playing bag toss, all those fun tailgating games. You're more likely to see craft beer than you are to see macro domestics. And I don't know if that's some sort of, I don't know how to say this without sounding like, you know, like, oh, we like diverse shit, and so we like to try new shit, and so we like soccer, so we can't be, you know, we can't be conforming to whatever. But I think what it is I think when soccer initially started getting popular, your initial real big fans were often people that had spent a summer abroad, a year abroad, did a little bit of traveling. And so that's how they arbitrarily found their team. Hey, I did a semester in Spain and I became a huge Real Madrid fan. Or, hey, I did a semester in London, I'm a big Chelsea or Arsenal or Tottenham fan or whatever. And then you have that. And so you have these people that are a little more likely to sort of get off the beaten path with their experiences in life. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think beer is one of those things as well. And so you just have people that are just generally more among soccer fans, at least initially. Now it's becoming more and more mainstream, but initially it was people that generally had more of an inclination to try new things and reach out and sort of embrace other things, you know, culturally speaking, because soccer is a sport here and there's becoming a soccer culture here, but culturally speaking in Europe, I mean, it's an identity, you know, for some of these cities. And I think that's where the two link. And I mean, in the original soccer bars were Irish pubs or places that were selling your Guinnesses and your Basses and stuff like that. And so, you know, they weren't Buffalo Wild Wings. They weren't your typical sports bars that were doing, you know, $6 Bud Light pitchers on a Saturday afternoon for a soccer game. And so I don't know, that this could be completely conjecture, but I know that's how I got into the game and that's how I got into beer. And I know that's how a lot of my friends that are into the game and into beer as well, they cut their teeth on beer abroad and they cut their teeth on soccer abroad. They sort of brought it back with them. And it's just sort of, yeah. But you're seeing, I also bartend at soccer matches sometimes now. You're seeing more and more macro beer is making that sort of inroads, at least at the stadium level, where, I mean, I saw a lot of fucking Michelob Ultra and stuff like that.
Michelob Ultra.
Yeah. Although that being said, if I do tailgate for like a game, I do go out, I'm in the parking lot, I'm pounding craft. And then when I get inside the match, I'm pretty full. And it's just, you know, maybe a 25-ounce Busch Light isn't the worst decision I've ever
made. Why don't you add some heavier stuff? But
yeah.
All right. So I have a question for you regarding. So I've been to Ireland and Scotland and been in those bars, and it's fucking bonkers to be in the middle of those things because, like, what's weird is like being in Ireland specifically. I think that's actually more of a thing in Ireland than it is in Scotland. But in Ireland, like, if you walk into a bar there with the wrong fucking color shirt on, that's not going to go well for you because
for sure.
For sure. So, but what I wanted to ask you is like, so I mean, you've been abroad and you've been in the culture of this stuff. It reminds me a bit of like the fucking crazy culture of either like SEC football or Texas high school football.
For sure.
Where it's like all consuming. It's like just ingrained in the culture. Is that kind of how you see it too? Like that's just kind of like
that's a really good example because the team that we talked about this before when we just like, oh, you just picked your team for arbitrary reasons. All of our teams you've ever cheered for are for arbitrary reasons. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan because my dad watched the Cubs when he was home from work and I'd watch the Cubs with him. You know what I mean? No, but one of the reasons I picked Liverpool was their club culture and their songs and their stuff like that had a college football sort of feel to it, you know? And I think part of that is because if you think of like, you think SEC football, you think like an Auburn, an Alabama, a Georgia, these are from communities. This isn't like, I mean, look at their fans show up and then look at teams that are in like Miami doesn't get a ton of fans. UCLA, USC doesn't get a ton of fans because there's 9 million other sports. There's a million things to do. Or if you're from Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama football, that is it. And if you go to Liverpool, they don't have a soccer, a basketball, an American football, a hockey, and a baseball team. They have Liverpool and they have Everton. You know what I mean? And there might be, rugby club or some cricket that's being played, but for the most part, that is everything. When I was studying abroad for a year in Holland, my roommates would make fun of me because I was always up at 2-3 in the morning watching my team. And they're like, what are you doing now? And I was like, oh, the Cubs are in the playoffs. Like, oh, well, what are you doing now? It's like, oh, KU basketball has a game. And they're like, there's always something you're watching. They're just like, who do you watch? They're like, we have our one local team and that's it. Yeah. And then the national team for international tournaments. But I think, that's a really good example because there's not 20 different teams to cheer for. Everyone has one, maybe two, and it is their lifeblood, and it's an identity that they associate their entire, it's their identity and it's their city's identity. And it feels, when we went to matches in Germany, it definitely felt that where it wasn't like, this sort of corporate whatever. It was like, this is us and this is our town's pride on the field being displayed at the moment,
Yeah, you can't get away with any of that bullshit that Doug and I pull, which is like Doug and I are both from Eastern Pennsylvania. And Doug and I both rejected Eastern Pennsylvania teams as early as we can, early as I could. I was like, oh no, I'm not like y'all Philly fans. In fact, I want to argue with y'all Philly fans. I knew back now almost 50 years ago, John, that I was like, this shit's never going to work.
Yeah.
So I skipped over to the Steelers, actually, Doug. I don't know if you know this story, but I skipped over to the Steelers for a couple years. And I don't know, Western Pennsylvania, how much different is it from Eastern Pennsylvania?
Not at all. Not fucking at all.
Right. So then somehow I ended up in Ohio with this dysfunctional mess that we call the Cleveland Browns. And for some reason, I'm still there, Doug. It's just at this point, I just don't. I got the part about I'm a fan, so I don't want to abandon my team. But we could never get away with that shit, John, over what Doug and I pulled over in England, because we couldn't be Liverpool fans or we couldn't be City fans living in Liverpool. They would hang us. So it was just, wait, are you from Liverpool? Yeah, and I like City. They'll be like, what?
No, you don't.
Yeah. Right.
There's pubs that there's on game days, or maybe not even on game days or match days, whatever. I mean, there's tons of pubs. Like even if you're like in the heart of London, where it's just like no team colors allowed in the pub, whether it's home or away. We're not. Yeah, like don't come in here wearing red or blue. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just because we don't want any shit to get started, whatever. Dude, I've been a Bears fan all my life, and the Bears have just maybe been this much better than Cleveland the past 30 years. Maybe.
Yeah, they've been better, but yes, it's not marketable for sure.
My dad had a one-liner about the Bears, which I think is applicable probably to the Browns as well. And every time I tell this to a Bears fan, they're just like, that's fucking perfect. I was sitting at home one day, and my parents, I don't go to church. My parents came back from church. It's like late in the fourth quarter. My dad walks in. He goes, "How the Bears doing?" I'm sitting on the couch watching the game. He goes, "How the Bears doing?" And I go, "They're down 2 scores." I go, "They got it on their own 20. There's 2.5 minutes left." And I go, "It's 3rd and 8." He looks at me and he goes, "Son," he goes, "Bears have been 3rd and 8 my entire life." You know what I mean? You just and I'm just like, God, that's perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Right. And y'all still there. We're both still there, but y'all still there. Especially y'all are more there than the Browns are. Actually, the Browns should be doing more than what they are. Yes, they won last night, but they're more of a complete team. Y'all actually literally just started a rebuild from my point of view. And then this year y'all acted like y'all totally rebuilding as far as not spending money, saving money.
The baby Bears. The baby Bears.
Yeah.
And
So
Justin Fields is trash.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that because real quick, let's just do a little bit of a deep dive on the Bears. I actually, again, one of the teams I hate the most in college football is the Ohio State. First of all,
I agree.
Fuck you. Fuck you and your that's why I say Doug, right, on purpose. Because I'm like, what is this the shit? Fuck y'all. But I just don't like them. I just never did. But I kind of wanted the best for Justin Fields. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah, nothing against it. Yeah, nothing against it at all.
I want to see it work, right? And I'm I got other Bears fans that I'm kind of like, you know what? We are a lot alike. Why should I root against the Bears? There's nothing. We play like once every 4 years. Yeah. There's just no reason. There's no rivalry. Actually, Browns and the Bears play some weird ass fucking games over the year. I don't know if you remember that. We played some weird ass games. So like, there's no really connection there. But like, I always wanted to root for the kid, and I just think that like, I think this is my personal opinion. Your front office don't like him, and I think that I think this whole year is a setup. Mostly, you don't want to lose, but like, they're a new regime. You know how new regimes want to pick your own quarterback. They ultimately do. Yeah. They come in and are like, yeah, we're good. We love him and we're going to work with him. And the owner's like, are you going to work with him? Because we just spent all this money in draft capital. We traded like fucking 16,000 picks to get Justin Fields. Y'all better fucking run with him. And the coach and the owner's like, yeah, we're going to run with him. Like, the Browns did this exactly with Baker Mayfield. They exactly did it. Yeah. And then when there was the first time they could throw Baker Mayfield under the bus and get rid of him, it was the first time they did it. Yeah. Like, there's no mystery here. So like, do you agree with me on that with Justin? Because I just don't feel they put anybody around him, John.
Yeah, as of right now, As of right now, you're right.
And of course he's fucking up. He has no wideouts. The offensive line is. The running game is solid, but
Montgomery's he's a top half.
He's solid. He's solid. I said that. You know what I mean? But the rest of the supporting cast is so much to be desired. Where do you think about that? Do you agree with me, or where you at?
Yeah, I shouldn't just drop the whole trash thing immediately. That's probably right. I guess, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, Mitch Trubisky could be doing the exact same thing right now. You know what I'm saying? And then that's not saying Mitch is worth a shit.
No,
but I'm saying he could be doing the exact same thing, and they could be like, okay, well, maybe we'll get him another left tackle or another wideout or a top tight end versus drafting another quarterback and having to reintegrate him, because Mr. Trubisky, he's kind of that same athletic, runs a little too much, guy, and just I don't know. I watched Justin Fields and I'm just like, why? This is just another Mitch Trubisky. Why did they draft another Mitch Trubisky, and like you said, not put anybody around him,
right? And then you got y'all paid draft capital, but then it was the old people though. You're like, and the new people are like, well, we didn't do that, so fucking we don't really, you know what I mean? Like, like, it just perpetuates. I've seen this with my Browns. It just perpetuates the whole thing. And then if you want to talk about my Browns, we went out and spent 18,000 draft picks on a fucking sexual.
Whatever,
predator at the very least. Not convicted, innocent until proven guilty. We got all that. At the very least,
he's a scumbag, and I fucking love Deshaun Watson too.
Yes, at the very least, he's a scumbag. Yeah, thank you. Right, we all know. Let's all just apply our comments. But like, that's how desperate they were to get rid of the last dude they didn't want, though. Like, that's where you are at desperation. Is that like you have to, you know what I mean? And then to spend all this money, give him a guarantee contract, the biggest guarantee contract ever. And like, this is how desperate you are in the NFL, that like quarterback is so important that if you don't get a first round pick every year, like the Jacksonville Jaguars, sorry, Doug, that like you can't. I mean, I think y'all actually got your quarterback. I told you that last year. Yeah. I love Trevor Lawrence. I think he has a great head on the shoulders. I think he has all the tools. If y'all fuck that up,
wonderful.
The hair is, oh my God. Yeah. Right? Doug, of course you said the hair. But I think y'all actually got it, but it took y'all sucking like 5 years in a row and all that bullshit to get to that point. So it's just fucked up how the quarterbacks are. What are you gonna say, John?
That's how I know I'm proud of myself. I'm not a fair weather fan. So I was a fair weather fan. I would just hitch my wagon to the Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes is just. You want to talk about fun to watch.
So Why can't you just get a second team, John? Just get a second team.
No, like I definitely cheer for them as my second team for sure.
Okay.
You could be a sports polygamist. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to claim diehard status, but man, that
right.
That dude, and he's so smooth too when he does it. He makes these ridiculous throws, but it's just like he's having fun. It's just like he's a good dude, and his wife's a cool chick, and like they've done cool stuff in Kansas City. You know what I mean? That dude.
Wait, hold on. You're the first person I've ever heard say that his wife is cool. She gets because people come at her all the time. People come at her all the time. I'm not saying anything.
They do. And here's the thing about her, where it's just like she's done nothing wrong. Like,
okay.
So like she gets kind of loudmouth on.
Oh yeah, she does
like that. But it's like it's harmless shit though. You know
yes,
what I mean?
It is.
And I don't care about her one way or another. But she was. I mean, she's part of the ownership group of the KC Current, the women's soccer team here, and we got in KC. We're getting the first ever stadium built specifically for a professional women's sports franchise. And her and Patrick Mahomes, like they're basically they're part of
that shit.
I don't think they bankrolled it, but they're a big part of that team, and they're a huge influence on that team. And I know they didn't pull the trigger making it happen, but having the weight of Patrick Mahomes, who's basically the fucking mayor of Kansas City, on your team, and having them trying to pimp it. I mean, it's a 100% privately funded soccer stadium just for women's soccer. I think that's so freaking cool.
It is. But his brother's a little douchey though.
Oh, his brother's so douchey. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that dude? He was going around and he was talking to ex Chiefs players in the preseason, and he was just like, "Would you take a guaranteed Super Bowl if you had to be Jackson Mahomes' roommate for a year?" And everybody was like, "Oh shit."
Right.
Man, I really got to sit with that one.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, because like Pat's such a good dude. Like, Brittany, she talks a lot, but like she's
Pat comes off as a really good dude. He does.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
So,
hey, can I also just talk about the idea that you said Trevor Lawrence was going to be a good quarterback, and I agreed with you. You know what we disagreed on? Do you remember? I remember the moment they hired that motherfucker, I was like, that is a bad hire. And you were like, well, maybe.
I was willing,
no, that's
willing to give it a shot. I was willing to give it a shot, given the dude knows how to coach, but he just got out of his fucking mind there. Well, in certain situations he can coach. Like you can't take away anything he's done in college. I mean, that shit was impressive. He moved places. He did it different places. But like, it's such a different beast NFL, and he doesn't have that control that he has over these kids, that he could be like such a fucking dick. And like, you can't just be a dick like that in NFL. You can, but you got to have like some chops like Belichick. And like, and have that like, right. And have that like pedigree of, you know what I mean? Again, another person like this, Doug, is a very great coach is Nick Saban. And then what did he do when he went to Miami? He was a fucking dick, and they told him no, and he got pushed back, and he looks like shit now. So it's just tough, man. It's tough. And then we have Pete Carroll too. Remember Pete Carroll, great college coach, sucked with the Jets, then came back with Patriots. The Seattle kind of sucked there too.
You're right. John's right. He came to the Patriots first.
Right.
He was okay with the Patriots,
but it took 3 tries for him to be like really good.
Yeah, he's the anomaly.
Right. And Urban's head just got too big. But yeah, I wanted to give Urban. I thought Urban would have had a chance, but I was skeptical though, Doug. But not really with you. But I was really skeptical as far as
I was immediately mad.
And then once he started, but I gave Urban this much credit, like this much time, and like it was like one thing that came out, and I'm like, this motherfucker needs to go. Like I forget what it was, but it's like, dude, he's horrible.
He's so shady, man.
I hope he doesn't get another coaching job ever. Is what I'm saying.
He has always been shady. He was shady at Florida. He was shady at the Ohio State University. He was shady at both places.
Urban started the whole fucking Aaron Hernandez thing. He fucking he fueled that shit.
And
Like he doesn't get enough credit.
Best.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit for how fucked up he fucked up Aaron Hernandez and all that shit. Like they don't even talk about that shit. Like like they blame it on the Patriots and shit. I'm like, that shit started with Florida and Urban letting him do whatever the fuck he wanted. Those people just completely ignoring everything Aaron Hernandez was doing because he was doing shady shit then. Then he comes out and starts killing people, and it's just literally. Yeah, and it's Doug, this is one of the worst segues ever in my whole life, but we're awesome. About to do it. John, I'm glad you're here for it. But today is Bi Visibility Day. Cheers to that. And of course, I'm bringing that up with Aaron Hernandez because he was clearly a bisexual male. But I had to bring that up, but it was a bad segue because he's not really the type of bisexual that we're trying. I mean, he's a bisexual, so I guess we talk about it. But he's not a role model by any way, shape, or form.
Say very much not a role model.
Right. When you're out here literally killing people, no joke. When you're literally killing people while you're out there playing football, say what you want about Gronk, but at least he's not fucking that. So
Gronk is an idiot, but he's a good idiot.
Gronk is a fun-loving idiot. We should have a beer with Gronk and then quickly leave after that.
Dude, there was I shit you not, there was one year there was like a Kentucky Derby or whatever, one of the Triple Crown races, where it's him and his brothers.
Oh God.
And I don't know if they owned a horse or they all bet on a horse. And they bet a horse, and that like a long shot won, and they won a bunch of money. And apparently, they all bet like $69 or something like that was their bet. And I'm just like, God, you fucking children! Of course, you bet $69.
Right.
Would you expect any different from him and his brothers? Yeah.
Oh, hey, no, I looked it up. Here you go. Gronk won a bunch of money after betting $69 on his own horse at the Belmont Stakes.
The Belmont, okay.
Dear God.
Oh, wow. Right.
So right. We just had a question, John. What's your next beer?
Oh, shit. Oh man, Jesus, dear God, someone spied on me. All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I will tell you, Greg, it's funny, the Jacksonville is actually not half bad. They're not great. They're in a shitty division. So they actually have a chance to win a division.
That's helpful. Yeah, absolutely.
Their division is the Indianapolis Colts, the fucking Houston Texans, and the Tennessee Titans, who all of them look fucking awful. So the Jaguars might win that division with like a 7-9 record.
I'm here for it. We should all be here for it.
I'll take anything.
We should all be here for it. And I say this respectfully, like, what are the why would you hate the Jacksonville Jaguars unless you get one exception that you're in a division? Other than that, there's no one that should hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. They haven't been anything ever to anybody's stop. And like, now that y'all have sucked for all these years, y'all accumulated draft picks. It looks like I still think your GM is an idiot, but hopefully I got and I still think the owner is. But
the owner has good intentions, but doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
He's a clueless.
The GM is just kind of a giant jackass. So
right. So I'm just saying.
John getting the very last drop out of it.
Yeah.
No, that was water. That was water.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, man.
Oh, John, you do what I do. Yeah, you rinse it out and then drink the water. Hell yeah. But anyway, Doug. Y'all have sucked so much like the Browns, and I'm speaking just like the Browns, that like y'all have accumulated all these good players. So at some point like the Browns, you're going to have some players that can play, right? Oh, this is a KC Beer Company. Look at that. Okay.
They call it Fest Beer.
Yeah.
But it's a Vienna style lager, which is just basically a lighter Märzen. And and actually their owner, I think I sent you an email, their owner actually put out a press release about why they call their Fest beer a Vienna style lager. It's like, all right, because they're super, if you're ever in Kansas City, they don't just, I think they distribute in Kansas City. They think they're in a few places in Kansas. I know they're in Columbia, Missouri. They're not in St. Louis yet. But if you're in KC, get their beer. It's classic, true to forms, straight to style. American style, German style beers, but it's all fucking phenomenal. They do such a good job. They do such a good job.
So comment on KC Beer. Dan says that he hears a lot about it, but never had them. And also, real quick, you can respond to Dan himself.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Talk about KC Beer, bro. What's up, Dan? But hold on, let John talk about KC Beer.
Yeah, I want to hear more about KC Beer, man.
Yeah, and then Dan, we'll get to what you're drinking.
They've been around 6-7 years now. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, they're like super strict Reinheitsgebot brewers. It's for the most part like 95% of what they make is very classic, very to form German styles. All their hops, all their malt is imported. They only use German hops and German grain. They do a lot of decoction mashing, which is like this super intensive long process of boiling and then adding it to raise the temperature of the mash and going back and forth. Like it is
a mess.
Yeah, it is not something that people I think their Doppelbock is like triple decocted, you know. Yeah, they take no shortcuts and it shows up in their product, and it's nice to have. I know I like having, because there's some great innovative breweries here like there is in a lot of cities, but it's nice to have that one brewery where you can go to and you know exactly. Yeah, I like going to a place and getting like, oh man, you drink something, you're like, holy fuck, what's going on here? We got this, and then you sit there and you break it down and you talk to the brewer. But it's also really cool grabbing their shit sometimes, and you're just like, oh, this is what I expect, and then you drink it, and you're just like, yep, fucking spot on, fucking perfect, beautiful. You know, it's fun to have. It's fun to have that option too in your city.
I find that with Dovetail, like Dovetail out of Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their shit is like on point. Yeah. Every style is right on. I can't get their stuff here. I have to order it and have it shipped, which costs a fucking shit ton of money. But I think I ordered a 6-pack, and I got what was cool is you could order a can of whatever you want instead of ordering like a 4-pack.
Nice.
Which was nifty. It was expensive, but all the styles I have were just awesome, just awesomely perfect.
Didn't know that. I need to do this.
Yeah.
It's worth.
I should do a shipment of that, because like I've been dying to have their Vienna. Actually, speaking of Vienna, for a while.
Well,
John's
before we get to Dan, what the fuck is going on over here,
dude? It's this like, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful balance. Like you get just a little bit of like honey notes off the malt, which is like you get in their Helles as well. And there's just like just a little bit of spice from the hops too. Like it's so stupid. Like I don't want to drink. I just want to smell it. I don't want to, because the problem is if you drink it, the faster you drink it, then the faster it goes away and you don't have it anymore.
Nah, fair point. That's usually how that works. The law of consumption kind of works that way.
This is why we have John here for mind-blowing conclusions like that.
I think
I mean, but like even how it looks in your Stifo, man, it looks so brilliant in your Stifo.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like
it's a really nice color. It's just like golden with like a little orange hue. Like I think it's why they call it a Vienna lager, because it's just like SRM wise and color wise, it's just a step down from a Märzen.
Neat.
Daniel, it's going to be hard for you to.
No, I can't beat that. So I decided that based upon all the suggestions I had on my post earlier in the group, I wanted to go back and forth. So I did the Eyinger to lead off, and then I had my little graveyard over here going on over here. So I had the Fest Bear.
The Fest Bear.
Nice.
That's what Joe wanted you to drink, and I was like,
yeah. So it was pretty tasty, pretty quaffable. I mean, again, per what John was saying, I think it kind of lacked a lot of the complexity and the mouthfeel and the weight and everything behind that, and the finish on the Eyinger is just so long, and it's just so brilliant. The grain expression, and even like the just a little bit of a hop bite that kind of persists about halfway through that. It's just it's money. But I shout out to Jeff in the group because he wanted me to go like BJCP style, do the Hacker Shore.
That's a chewy one. That's a pretty chewy, darker one if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I haven't had this in years actually, so it's been a very long time since I've had this.
The Eyinger, the first sip, it's just your brain tells you it's going to be cloying. It's going to be too sweet. It's going to be like a Sam Adams, where it's just going to be really sweet. That sweetness is going to linger. Like you said, it just finds a way. Like the hops just show up just at the right moment. And I also think too, a little more alcohol in it probably too. The little higher attenuation probably kind of cuts the legs off of that sweetness at the end too. And it just like finishes
Nice glass too.
Oh yeah, this is my Sierra Oktoberfest sign that I got many years ago.
Look, Greg,
Hey,
Greg
look at
put
that.
the
He's
same
even
one.
a hacker too.
Has anybody had Sierra Nevada this year? Because they used to do the whole collab every single year.
Yeah, no, they stopped it. I think this year. I think
it sucks. That was so fun.
Well, the last podcast voice I heard earlier today was the one, the only John Hall, out of New Jersey here. He was complaining about how Sierra Nevada killed Kellerweiss, and he's still bitter about that. So I'm right there with him because Kellerweiss was amazing.
It's just, as a guy who sold all these beers, it's just everyone gets mad. Every time someone gets mad, they go blah blah blah, and I go, "When's the last time you drank it?" And they're like, "When's the last time you've seen somebody drinking it?" They're like,
If I saw like a 6 of Kellerweiss, I always got it.
Oh, it's great beer for sure. Yeah.
Greg, yeah, I see you poured one too. What did you pour?
I think Hacker Short too, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're doing the same. The Hacker Short.
Yeah.
Beer.
Can I pour one too?
Yeah, man. Everyone.
Oh yeah, everybody pour.
We all had to be drinking here.
Hey,
did we find out what's in John's glass yet, though?
Yeah,
the Casey Beer Co. The Fest beer.
Oh, yeah.
So, Greg, I think you gave me this one, Greg. Did you give me this one?
Yes, I did. Is that Prairie? Yeah.
Oh, Prairie.
Prairie as in Oklahoma Prairie?
Prairie as in Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh,
like the Rockford Files. Like if you're old, like me.
Wow.
I know what Rockford Files is. I don't know what it means though.
It's
some
old ass crime show, dog.
Like detective shit, right?
Yeah, with Jim.
Yeah. We'll have to do plenty of Perry Mason and Columbia.
Look at the darkness of that shit.
That is dark. Wow.
Yeah.
Sexy glass. Glass.
Is that a Gordon's Scotch ale glass?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
Throw it off, though.
No, Highland Scotch ale is what it says.
Yeah.
But
Highland.
Same difference.
I think I have that glass.
So this is it's
sexy.
Märzen Lager is how it's said, but this is really dark.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. I haven't had that one yet.
And you gave one to me.
Wow.
I haven't had that one yet. Right.
I was asking John, like, what? I was asking John what he thought the. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
You got same thing. Yeah, I got the legs on the glass too, but you have the cool little designs. This is just etching. Yeah.
I like that design.
Look at you, glass geeks.
Hey, by the way, Greg, we should talk about Zach Rosen. Zach Rosen's the one where I got that glass from. I got that, and I got my Judas glass from there. Remember that thing? So yeah, this is John, JC, you're actually old. You're actually my age, so you get that reference.
He understands the reference.
Yeah. So
this is your Captain America gif. I understood the reference.
Yeah. So this is really, really, really good because I like the flavor profile of it. It's the other ones I've had were lighter, like one was a Fest beer, and then you have the NA.
So it's more oomph.
Yeah, much more oomph. I like the just
a little more.
I like it. Yeah. And I like the Märzen style versus Fest beer personally. That's just what I prefer. But man, so good. Cheers, Greg. Thank you for this. That was from you.
There you go.
I'm sorry I gave you 50 beers in return, but yes.
John, I was going to ask you, like, what do you think went into that beer? It's like twice as dark as like even the yours at that point.
I don't know. I just a shit ton of dark malt. I don't know.
That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, I have no
idea.
I don't know. I mean, I was just asking. I mean, did they pour like the wrong beer out of that? Did they pour like the Dunkel in there or something like that? Maybe.
Well, originally, like if you read the BJCP guidelines, originally Märzens were like really dark, like almost like dark brown.
That's really fucking dark.
Okay.
I mean, if you get like
darker than amber, that's like even
Spaten,
darker than amber. Yeah,
like Spaten is that dark, I believe.
Spaten's that dark?
Yeah. Spaten's really dark, and it's a little.
I probably haven't had that even less time than the even more time than the Hacker. I probably had Spaten since like 2003.
Yeah, little on the sweet side for me personally. The Spaten. Some people swear by it though.
Yeah, I could get a bit of sweetness out of this, but it's not like Spaten where you get that really sweet end to it, and it's not.
And it lingers, and it's just as it warms up, it's just you don't want a big mug of it, and that's just like Sam Adams Oktoberfest used to be my jam, and I still have a very special sentimental place in my heart for it because it's one of the first dark beers I cut my teeth on. 20 years ago.
There's a lot of nostalgia with that Sam Adams one, though. I find people go to it every year. It's kind of like that old throwback. It's kind of like you want to just go back to that, and then I don't know. Hey man, if that's your jam, again, Doug and I say we don't beer shame here. We drink shame. We will food shame the fuck out of you, though, and we're going to get to that point soon, John. But go
after more beer.
So I'm just throwing this out there right now. I'm like, I don't know if we can. I might not talk to you for a few days because you like banana Laffy Taffy.
Who?
Banana Laffy Taffy. So I might not talk to you.
Who likes banana Laffy Taffy?
It's super niche. It's a super niche question, but I had a really bad experience.
No one does.
I'm okay with banana Laffy Taffy. I'm not going to grab it. I'm not going to grab it out of the basket.
But if I have it, I'm not. Yeah, it's not like
if I have it.
Okay.
Probably not going to throw it away. I don't mind it.
Okay.
I don't mind it.
Right.
Did you have
for me, it's like that and like Strawberry Quick. Like they kind of fight each other sometimes.
What?
Like Nesquik?
Hey, Dan, I'm going to tell you straight up, Strawberry Quick better than Chocolate Quick.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Banana Quick was better than both of them.
Well, I might like Banana Quick better than Banana Laffy Taffy then.
Oh well, that's fair. That's
Banana
Quick, like John said, like Banana Laffy Taffy is like, well, if I have to.
Yeah,
like that's not a
like Banana Runts. I'm probably gonna throw in the bin.
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
those are mostly trash, but
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of trash, and then we're gonna bring on. We got another guest here. That's gonna be fun. But speaking of trash, you have to. This is where we love doing this. You have to get rid of, or you have to.
You have to pick one, or do you have to get rid of one?
Get rid of.
You have to.
For...
How about this? You have to pick one. Okay. You have to. I don't want to hear how they're all trash. Nobody likes it. I don't want to hear that shit. Save that shit for later. You have to pick one of these places to go to, and maybe even if it's a date. Okay. So you have to pick one. Doug.
That's an easy one.
Doug.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
Chili's is the only tolerable one out of all of
yes, those. Chili's all day.
I'm 100% agree with you guys.
What is wrong with Red Lobster?
I've never been to a Red Lobster in my entire life.
The only good thing at Red Lobster is their cheddar biscuits. Cheddar biscuits are great, but
I haven't specifically.
So the black guy is the only one that picks Red Lobster.
Well, great.
Red Lobster's my second choice, actually.
Look at John's not touching that. I'm touching it.
No, listen, Red Lobster
that's the black place. Out of all these places, that's the black place. I'm just warning you. Y'all never been there, so y'all wouldn't know. But Red Lobster.
I've been there.
Wait,
how many black people you saw up in there? Do you remember? You probably don't. Next time you go, if you ever go, check it out. I'm telling you, it's going to be full of black people. That's our jam. And for some reason, I'm going to agree with that bullshit.
I've never been to Red Lobster. I haven't avoided it. I've just never been to one.
I'm going to tell you, like I said, the cheddar biscuits.
Oh, you can eat shrimp, great. John? Come on.
That's why it's number 2 for me. For Chili's, I have certain dishes over there that I always loved. Yeah. And I have so many fond memories of going there with my buddy Dave. So that's why it's there.
Can we all agree? Can we all agree that Applebee's is the worst?
Hey, Applebee's is the only one that goes in the middle of parking lots, and that's where their fucking restaurant is. So, yeah, they could go pound sand.
I mean, given the choice between Applebee's and then unlimited breadsticks, I probably have to go unlimited breadsticks over that. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's Chili's,
right?
Olive Garden, Applebee's, and then on the bottom of my shoe is Red Lobster.
Because you haven't tried it, you don't know.
I don't know. I was giving you shit. Although at one bar I did manage. We had a ton of industry people because we're on like this huge restaurant roast. We get a ton of late night industry folks, and I had people that worked there, and the guy's like, I worked at a million restaurants. He's like, I swear to you, up and down. And he's like, we actually get really good product at Red Lobster. And he's like, comparatively speaking, he's like, it is actually really solid product. It's actually good seafood. It's not a bunch of bullshit. He's like, we actually get decent stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's good enough for Beyonce, what's good enough for Beyonce?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, wait, I don't get the reference. Who is it? Red Lobster? Or no, Applebee's? Yeah. No. What's good enough for Beyonce? Someone tell me. I'm clueless.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I thought that she was like a Red Lobster person, but I could.
That's what I thought.
I'm telling you, black people. I tried to tell you. And who's not black, and I'm trying to tell you, is our friend JHG.
There he is.
I made it.
Yes, and another wonderful my segments. But JHG, where are you at with this? Where are you at?
I'm the same. Chili's.
Okay.
Chili's hands down. But I will say, I have been to Red Lobster in my youth because my parents love lobster, so they would take us to Red Lobster when I was really young. So Red Lobster,
Cheddar biscuits
out of those is like a second to
Cheddar biscuits, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, can we really trust a guy wearing a Patriots hat? I don't know, man.
Oh yes, you can.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Are you trying to inflate his ego?
Yeah. So JC, what the hell are you drinking?
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Happy
man.
Oktoberfest.
He's just popping it open.
I love it. Yes. JC was doing dad duties.
But
you're doing dad duties earlier.
That's that essence. It's fluffy pumpkin.
Ooh.
Okay. Toasted marshmallow. Pumpkin porter.
It looks toasty.
That works.
That can great though. I like that.
Listen,
like that can.
We don't beer shame here, but what do y'all think about pumpkin beers, John?
They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They're fine.
Okay.
There's that can art again.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I just like that. It's not complicated. It's just really cool.
Yeah. Anywho,
Doug, you should just do a whole stream where you just talk about beer labels.
You know what I should do is I should just get beers that, regardless of style, I just like their fucking labels, and I just drink shit, whatever the fuck it is, and it could be terrible, but I'll be like, great, because the can art's awesome.
Welcome to Brothers and Booze.
You sound like the person I
there's
the March Madness bracket every single year. It's like, oh, that's a cute team name. Oh, they're in the
Right.
Well, there was that beer marketing awards that was done about 2 months ago, and I think they were doing label judging at that point.
It's a vast area that someone could just take over. JG, what was going on with that? How you feeling?
Feels good. The spiced pumpkin. So it says deep flavors of spiced pumpkin and toasted marshmallow dance with notes of chocolate and graham cracker. So I'm not getting a lot of the graham cracker, but I'm getting the spiced pumpkin and a little bit of the marshmallow. Just and a little bit of the chocolate. Well,
I like the
that
glass.
That sounds like a Doug beer.
What's a glass? Yeah.
That's kind of from my little place called Heliotrope.
Nice.
Oh.
In
I do like the glass. Yeah.
In Western Virginia. It's a little teeny micro brew place.
Nice glass.
Stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Great beer. And they really caught my attention because they were expressing in the middle of a very conservative area pride for the local college. So I had to give them props for that. And I've got a shirt upstairs that's pride.
Wonderful.
From that.
And it's nice on by Visibility Day. Wonderful.
There you go.
So Doug, I'm going to pose this question to you quick before we get to everybody's next beer, because this is right up your wheelhouse, bro.
Okay, bring it.
And I don't know I want to know what John thinks too, because he's an athlete, but I'm not sure if he fucked around. Well, you are. I mean, you are. I mean,
used to be one.
I'm
right.
Well,
right.
yeah, JC and John.
If you play,
JC and John can run circles around the three of us, so there was
Probably.
if you play a
the
sport,
Johns
you're an
can run.
athlete,
Yeah.
John. What are you missing, bro?
I move around, and sometimes people keep score.
If I played, that'd be 100%. It's like the game revolves around me, you know.
Right. But we don't even move around here, John. So the bar is really low here, just so you know. So right, you and JHG move around still in your older age, of course. With all respectfully, because I'm right there with y'all. Anyway, Doug,
I'm right there with
what do you
Doug.
do, Doug? What do you do here? So you can do one.
Okay. That's my worst sport. Fuck.
You can do one. Doug, pick one to try to do for the money. So would you do a 25K layup, a 50K three throw, Doug, a 100K three-pointer, or a 500K half court? What would you try, Doug?
It would either be the free throw or the three-pointer, and I will tell you why. As a high school and college athlete, I shot over 90% as free throws. And I held my high school's record for three-pointers for a good 20 years after I was done.
Oh, wow.
So Doug, I want you to challenge Shaq to a free throw competition for charity.
I would absolutely do that.
I love how they're showing Shaq.
I can't move well.
that.
I can't move well, but I can still shoot. That's something I actually can do.
Wow. For me, it's without a doubt the 25K layup. I'm horrible about basketball.
So bad at basketball.
I'm a tall black dude, so everybody expects me to be able to play basketball. I just never played it, but didn't put anything towards it. I was more of a tennis and hockey kind of guy. I played white sports, yes.
Yeah, I feel you, Greg. I was a tennis guy. Yeah.
Right. So Dan,
hockey in high school.
Dan, I'm not even going to ask John now. Dan and JHG.
JHG, you lead off, man.
Yeah.
I would have to say that the three-pointer.
Oh, okay.
That's about my space.
Okay. You get one shot, man. You get one shot.
Yeah, it would probably be the three-pointer.
Damn. Daniel?
Yeah, free throw. I don't have enough confidence in my 3-point range, honestly.
And John, I'm giving you layup.
Oh, layup, yeah. I'm so dude, when we played, I tell you what, when I was growing up, I could play any sport with anybody and I'd be okay at it, but basketball was the one sport that I was just absolutely
That was the only sport I was very good at.
I
was okay at anything, but I actually played Division III basketball, so
I was also terrible at hitting baseball. So Doug, I sucked at T-ball.
But could you feel? The thing is, could you?
I couldn't even hit the fucking. I would hit the tee, dog. I couldn't even.
I would probably still suck at T-ball right now, honestly. So yeah,
it was horrible.
It takes a lot to hit the stand.
Yeah, and then everybody said I caught like a girl. It was just a bad scene. Right? Yeah, you catch and throw like a girl. That's what I got told. And y'all know back then that was like, it's different now, and it's good. We've evolved as people, and it's great that we've evolved. I'm gonna take y'all off quick while y'all do your. I mean, we evolved as people, and we don't use you dress, you throw like a girl as a slur. But back when we were all coming up, that was the worst thing you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because my sister had a fucking hose when she played softball. I played catch with my dad was a baseball guy, was an umpire for a million years, and he got me into the game. I played as much catch with my mom and my sister as I did with my dad, because my sister and my mom could throw a ball just like anybody else. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. It's like, you play a girl, my sister's got a fucking cannon. Cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, and also, y'all ever see like college softball? That shit's fucking no joke.
Yeah.
Where they do those wind-ups, JC? I don't know if you saw them.
Yeah. My old man used to. Oh
yeah. You don't.
My old man would umpire like junior college national championship, and he's just like, those chicks would fucking bring it.
Well, John, what about I don't know if how much you've seen Jay, but John's a big soccer fan. He's playing soccer still in his life, and the women's soccer, that's another one. I'm not. These ladies would make me look foolish.
Dude, I went
so bad.
They make us all look foolish.
Dude, I'll go watch. I watched my 9-year-old niece play.
Yeah.
And the first goal her team scored, I was just like, "Are you out of your mind?" It wasn't just like a pack of kids and the ball squirts out and someone just taps it in. Like this girl just like chests it down, like takes a touch, turns, and then like hits it in the upper corner. And I'm just like, she's like 8 and she's like barely 4 feet tall, 65, 70 pounds. And I'm just like, that was incredible. And then I went to Colorado with my sister a few weeks ago, and on the way to our we went to hike this mountain, and we stopped off in Denver to meet my cousins and watch their daughter play like super competitive soccer. And it was all like, they're all 14, 15 years old. Fuck, they were good. Jesus Christ. Like they were so freaking good. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's not just their skills, like it's like their patience on the ball and their vision and just like how you could see them analyzing the game. And like they were super disciplined about how they kept their shapes and their formations, and like they were really good. And I was looking at my cousin and I was just like, I'm like, her daughter, I was like, she's really calm when she's dribbling the ball. Like she's really like, game slows down, she takes her time, and I'm just like, this is not just hoof it and the fastest person on your team just gets it. Goal. Like, 'cause even when I played club soccer, like I played fairly high level club soccer, and that's the shit we did. Like we didn't look that good playing.
Right. And I think, not that I think, it's pretty obvious that we've literally just released our young ladies and ladies to sports. Like, how long have they been allowed to play sports? This is what, the second generation or the third generation that they've been, quote, allowed. Now they're actually getting the same skills that guys have had forever because, we're all shoved into sports. You're not playing sports. You're not on the basketball team. You're not on the football team. You're not playing tennis. You're not golfing. You're not, you know what I mean? Remember when we were young, it was all that, like, especially for, I don't know about y'all, but maybe it was because I was a young black athletic kid, but like, what, you're not basketball? You're not in this? What are you sitting at home for? And it's like, whoa, can you just settle the fuck down? And I think now we're kind of getting that same way with girls, and we're just seeing it in a different way. And we're like, yo, you playing soccer? What's up, ladies? What do you got going?
And they're tough as shit too. They're tough as fucking shit too. The women's soccer team shows us everything, and I don't know where we are with the debate about the women's national team and the men's national team, and the men's national team gets more. Still don't know why.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. As long once they get the same pay, then I'll be happy.
If it's the detractors say shit like, well, the WNBA shouldn't get as much as the NBA because they're not as entertaining. Well, if entertaining is your bar, then the women's soccer team, y'all, should get almost double of what our men's get, because our men fluctuate, in my opinion. Actually, John, I forgot there was I completely forgot there was a game yesterday.
Nope.
What was it today?
I don't want you to bring it up.
Right. Oh. But like they played like hell. I think it was this morning.
First thing this morning, it was trash. I got up early to watch it.
Right.
Trash.
Now sometimes they're really entertaining, but sometimes they're just completely fucking not.
They were just flat.
Whereas the ladies are almost always entertaining. Like, entertaining doesn't mean win. Entertaining doesn't mean win necessarily, but entertaining doesn't mean come out flat and fall on your face. Like I think.
But our ladies do win consistently, though. That's just, they do.
Well, they do, but even when they don't, John, they're entertaining. Yeah. Even though you're going to see a good game, they're going to give a good effort. They're not just going to like belly up like the fucking men do. But anyway, that aside, I'm still a men's fan. I can criticize it because I'm a fan, dude. And I criticize my Browns. As JHG, I'm the hardest motherfucker on them. I fucking hate this team this year. I fucking hate it. Oh my God, they're awful. I could go on the list of like, the thing that really bugs me the most is not responsibility or taking responsibility for your own actions, John. And one of the things that, I don't know if you saw, the Browns lost a horrible game to the Jets. It was completely horrible. It was one of the worst games I've ever witnessed as a Browns fan in my whole entire life. So then, what did I say after this? Well, Myles Garrett says that they shouldn't be booed, and we shouldn't get booed. And then Greg Newsome Jr. says, Well, if it wasn't for 6 or 7 breakdowns, we're elite. Really, motherfuckers? Like, if my kids said that, I would not slam their head against the wall, but I would want to. How about that? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you can't be my kids if you're not taking any kind of responsibility for your own actions. It's just not, we'd be great if we didn't fuck up 12 times. Well, great, and so would I, Like, if I didn't fuck up 12 times, Anyway, I'm sorry. Enough of the fucking clowns.
Greg,
anyway,
Greg, you know, I'm in New York and I felt bad. And I didn't even watch the game. So
right. It was, and then you make excuses. Just say we sucked. How about that? Start with we sucked and we're going to do better. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's everybody else's fault. Fuck you. They're blaming Nick Chubb because he didn't take a knee and he scored a touchdown. That's what you're supposed to do. And y'all motherfuckers supposed to play defense. Anyway, that aside, what are y'all drinking? I'm going to calm down here. We have another host here, and I completely forgot him.
Doug
sounds very Jaguar-ish. Well, not really, because the Jaguars win.
Well, we won 1 game this year out of 2, and we should have won the first one. We should have won the first one, and we lost to the Washington Commanders. First of all, what a dumb fucking name. We lost to a guy with Carson Wentz.
Don't get me started on that.
I was going to say, you lost to Carson Wentz. That's not good.
Now we did come back and stomp a team we should have stomped 24-0. But
yes, that's all. I'm happy for y'all.
Hey, listen, if we can win 6 games this year, that's a goddamn success for the Jaguars. That's how bad we are. If we win 6 games, that's a successful season for us.
Doug, you're gonna win like 9, dude.
All right, I got a question for how long you been a Jaguars fan for, Doug?
Since their first season. 22 years.
Yeah.
Did Mark Brunell have the largest head in the history of the NFL?
Man,
that dude had a massive noggin. I don't know if it was massive or if it was just disproportionate. But holy shit!
You know why it looked like that?
Looked like an Easter Island statue.
Well, he also had like 18 concussions, so they made him like this giant helmet. So it made him look like a bobblehead. It was not great.
It was as wide as his pads.
He was a hell of a quarterback, though.
Yeah, and not a great businessman.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I don't know that story. What's that story?
He got really. He kept investing in people that kept ripping him off to the point that he was in debt like $40 million.
Oh, so
which is why he kept quarterbacking for like 19 years, and it wasn't because he could play; it's because he didn't have any money.
What? How did he do that? Did he have like 6 ex-wives or something that took half his money? Or
no.
Professional athletes are idiots.
And he kept investing in these startup businesses that just fucking failed. So yeah, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, money does not make one an equity investor.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, so not great. And when your best player ever in your history of your franchise is an offensive tackle who played 9 years.
That was always injured. Yeah.
Maybe your franchise needs a little help.
Yeah.
I can relate with being a Browns.
Dude, up until like 10 years ago, Sid Luckman was the all-time passer in Bears history. So
and
then who replaced him?
And now it's Jay Cutler.
Smoking Jay Cutler.
Smoking Jay Cutler.
Smoking Jay.
Dude, old RBF Jay Cutler.
Oh my God.
The bitch about Jay Cutler is I sincerely believe the dude had like top 3 like arm talent in the NFL, because he would make a handful of throws. You're just like, dude, this guy's got a fucking arm. But then he'd be like, oh, cool, that means I'm going to try to throw in a triple coverage when the game's on the line. And he would throw the
most boneheaded,
soul-crushing interceptions. It'd be like they'd be down 6, they got the ball, it'd be like 2nd and 6, on the 6 yard, second and goal on like the 6 or 7 yard line. And he would try, and instead of just being like, oh, there's nothing there, I'm going to throw it away. It'd be 40 seconds left. I'm going to throw it away. Live to see another day. We got 2 more downs. He's like, I'm going to try to fit this between 3 dudes. And he would just hit a fucking linebacker like in the chest to the point where he was like surprised. He's like, why is this guy throwing the ball at me? Like, what did I do? Oh shit, that's an interception. I guess I got to go the other way. And you're just like, why do you it's 4th and 6. It's 4th and goal from the 6. Cool. Try to feed that ball in there. Game's on the line. You got to do what you got to do. But he would sit there and you're just like, God, this is the most soul crushing bullshit.
All right. Better arm for dumbass quarterback. Is it Jay Cutler or Jeff George?
Ooh.
Better arm for dumb quarterback.
That's probably Jeff George.
That's pretty similar.
I think Jeff George, because Jay Cutler had some success. Jeff
Yeah.
George
Right.
never had any success.
Yeah. He had one good season with
the Vikings.
The Vikings and the Rams Super Bowl year. They scored $1 million. Of course, he also was just like, okay, either Chris Carter's going to be open up over the middle, or if they double him, then I'm just going to throw a jump ball to fucking Randy Moss. You know what I mean? Like that was. And if they doubled Randy Moss, then Chris Carter was wide open over the middle. I mean, yes, there's more to it than that, but that was.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. Yeah, there's no way that football's still being talked about. So then what should we talk about, Zach?
And Zach Rosenberg has entered the chat, folks. Here we go.
There we go.
We're going to talk about football till the Browns win the Super Bowl, Zach. Right. Right.
Otto Graham walking through that door.
Right. The way you say it makes me think the Browns have no chance. They don't. And this is going to keep going. Right. Right.
Pretty much.
Right. Anybody have any other beers? Should we start it? Because I'm
about to go. Yeah. Doug and I both got a beer, so Doug, you go first, man.
Oh, okay. I'm going to grab one that I got when I was in Canada. I went to Toronto and I picked up one from Flying Monkeys, which I love Flying Monkeys. They make my best chocolate beer ever, which is God damn it! Now I can't remember. I have a can of it in my fridge. It's this one where they make 3 different chocolates into a chocolate beer.
Yes, 3 different chocolates, 6 different adjuncts.
Yeah, no adjuncts, just chocolate. So this is it's called Theater of Madness, the pumpkin lager.
Awesome
pumpkin lager,
man.
Yeah. So you can see why I bought it.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah!
Cool fucking can.
It's what's going on in my head like every day of my life, I think.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show my when I was talking about Zach Rosen and I bought the Judas glass from. Here's the Judas glass.
Ah, there it is. Yeah,
ooh, look at that.
That's fancy. It looks nice, man.
Yeah, and this is a huge glass. I can pour this whole fucking thing in here, so this will be great.
That is a big glass.
It's a huge glass. That's what she said.
Hey. So, Doug, are you saying that's America's glass?
America's glass.
Sorry, that was a very stretched MCU reference right there.
Yeah, that's okay. So, man, you got the pumpkin and spices especially on the nose. So that's like Flying Monkeys. There's only a handful of beers that have from them. Chocolate Manifesto is the one I was trying to think of, which is a great beer. That is a great beer if you can get it. And I aged it for a year, and it was just as good. That the adjuncts didn't fall out, which is a rarity when you cellar beers. But so this really the spices, you get the pumpkin, but the spices are really present on the nose. Okay, that's freaking delicious. Like sometimes you get pumpkin beers and it's really super pumpkin-y, or it's really super spicy and you're just like, it doesn't really meld. This melds really well. You get spices on the front, and then you get the pumpkin on the back end. Like just really, really lovely. Like you don't really get that at pumpkin beers often. Often, it's like I said, it's either one or the other, and it's just
nice.
Kind of this. So really, really well done, Flying Monkeys.
Nice.
Good job. Like I said, when we were in Toronto, I picked this up just because up there, I get it. Yeah.
Is the season. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. So cheers to you folks, because I wasn't going to do a non-Oktoberfest beer, but I only had 3, and one of them was an NA. So
no, again, I guess it's not Oktoberfest beer, but I feel like pumpkin is still something okay because we had the vernal equinox, so I think it's 100% okay.
There's a tie in there.
Did you see this, Jon? My Judas glass.
Nice.
Looking glass.
Yeah.
So
what did you bring, Jon?
We got a.
Oh wait. So Jon and Dan. Sorry,
No. John, go ahead, man.
I have a classic from back home, Schlafly.
Oh yes, I love Schlafly Oktoberfest.
Super classic, super balanced. Probably, the bottle says amber lager. I'd probably call it Vienna lager. Me leaning towards Meriton, but it's so balanced and so crushable. My favorite thing about the reason why I love this time of year so much, this style of beer, is like a good Oktoberfesty beer to me is like the perfect mix of like drinkable, but it still keeps you like interested with each sip. You know what I mean? Like it's a crushable beer that I can have like 3 or 4 mugs of, but I don't lose interest drinking it. I'm still drinking something that's got some creativity and some, crafty sort of feel to it, which is why I love this style this time of year. Love this.
I mean, for the record, I would also do the same with Schlafly Pumpkin.
It's so balanced. Yeah, it's to me, it's been the best pumpkin beer in the market for 15 years basically. I have yet to find.
It's the only one my sister-in-law will seek out.
Yeah,
nothing else. Only Schlafly Pumpkin. Only her.
I
have yet to find a pumpkin beer that even touches Schlafly's. To be honest with you.
Okay, have you ever had Warlock from Southern Tier?
The half stout.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite pumpkin beer.
That's the half stout. That's the stout.
Right.
Stout base. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's good. I'd prefer pumpkin to it.
Which I'm the opposite. I like pumpkin, but
interesting.
Warlocks.
Doug is the dark beer, the stout.
Yeah, I like
that. So that would make sense for him, I guess.
We would.
And I need to get.
Oh, there it is. There's the box. Zach, there's the box.
Revolution.
Is that a Rev brew?
Yeah.
We had them last week. We had the creative director of them on the show last week.
The other Doug.
The other Doug. The only other Doug we've ever had in a show.
Doug, did you request your popcorn beer yet?
I did, and he emailed us back and said, "No need to send me anything back. Just send me what you want." So he said you can order any of the dark. So this is broadcast. I'm going to say quite as kept, but it's not quite as kept. So you and I can get their Darkwood series from last year that he still has in stock.
Very nice.
So you and I are going to be getting some really nice beers from him.
A really popular thing at the bar I managed is we would do 2 parts pumpkin, 1 part creme brulee. Because the pumpkin was just a touch, just a touch bitter, just a touch bitter. It had this like bitterness that almost came off as like this like tannic sort of like pie crust.
Just
a couple shots of the creme brulee, which is just like sweet, which might still be the sweetest beer on the fucking market.
I would agree.
But weirdly not cloying. It's weirdly not cloying. To me,
my 8 ounces is my limit on that. Honestly,
yeah. And I'll get my 8 ounces. Then I'll see you again next year.
You're right, Zach. My pants just got tight over that. Yes. half Woodrow on that. So thank you,
Zach. Where the fuck are you at? You're not making an appearance tonight. Come on.
Yeah.
Zach,
let's go.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, if we get Zach in here, it's gonna go another.
We're gonna be here next
right, exactly
12 hours from now, probably.
Yeah.
He'll show us his entire record collection.
Doug, I got a simple button that goes like this.
Oh, the Grim.
Oh, yeah. So this is one that a couple people I recommended. They wanted me to throw out there. This is Grimm's. To throw back to what Jon was saying before, this is actually double decoction.
Okay.
and I think it definitely shows, like you were talking about with the Casey beer before, and I think there's a lot more depth, mouthfeel, complexity to the expression on this for sure. I mean, it's 6%, but it's like I don't know. It's like satiating, I guess is the word I'm looking for right now. And I'm definitely loving like the color and the carbonation level is just right for me. I mean, again, it doesn't have the oomph and the raw, I guess, power of the Iyengar, but for an American style or interpretation, sure. I think it's super solid.
And seeing as how it's grim, they'll never make it again.
This is like their third or fourth year they've made this now.
Oh, nice.
They just hit their fifth anniversary, I think.
Nice.
So they're in East Williamsburg on Metropolitan Avenue over there in Brooklyn here. So and Grim, most of the stuff they do a lot. They do the most awards they get for are their sours, honestly.
For sure.
Yeah,
their pop series their pop series was so much fun when I carried that back in the day. I love that shit.
Oh, you carried the pop series, nice. Yeah,
I sold the fuck out of that. That was
can't have that anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
That whole lactose thing just.
Oh yeah, my buddy ran the brewery across the street from the bar I managed, and for their anniversary, that was a beer he makes. He'd come in and drink the fuck out of the pop series, and he made a beer. He's just like, I was like, hey, what's this? And he's just like, give it a shot, and you can probably figure out what I was trying to copy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
nice.
Lime creamsicle sour, basically. So yeah.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Right, for us, so dorks that know a little bit about beer but not everything. So the double and triple, what do you say, concoction.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is? Because I want to kind of JG. I'm wanting to know, but I'm like, that sounds like something that's really technical, and I don't know.
I got a pretty good description of it. I don't know. Do you have if you
what you mentioned before about removing parts from the mash, so to speak. That's my level of understanding from it.
Yeah, that's essentially you're removing wort.
Yeah.
So the sugar water that you're creating from the grain, you're pulling that from the mash. And so instead of, because when you mash, a lot of times, it's a single step infusion mash where it's just like, I want these sugars for this yeast, so I'm going to cook this grain at this temperature for this amount of time. And then sometimes if you want to start to get some more complex flavors, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to cook it for 20 minutes at this, and I'm going to raise it 5 degrees and cook it at this. So instead of just raising the temp in your mash tun, and if anybody that's a brewer sees this or listens to this and I'm wrong, please, for the love of God, correct me.
Correct us, please.
If JP from Dovetail, who probably knows way more about this than I do, please fucking correct me. Here's this. And it's, instead of doing it that way, you pull some of the wort out, you boil it, and then you add that back to it and use that to raise the temperature of the mash. And that just, it adds a complexity to the sugars and stuff like that. I am not going to get into the scientific process behind what it's doing, but that is.
I wanted just kind of a general thing because I was trying.
Yeah, but that's the process. You're pulling wort and you're boiling it, and then you're adding it back to the main batch of wort, and that's how you're raising the temperature versus just turning up your steam jacket or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the way I like to think about it this way is that it's a more healthy extraction than just just adding preheated water back over the over the mash, basically.
Okay.
So I think it's a more holistic view, is that you're building up those flavors, Maillard reactions, etc. That's what I would like to think about it, at least.
And it's extremely time consuming, as you would imagine. And I said, I know Casey Beer Co. does, I think one of their Bach beers in the winter, they do. It was sold to me as like a double or triple decoction, and I'm just like, I bet your brewers fucking hate making that. I can't imagine.
That's like a whole day and then some, probably. I'm assuming,
for sure, right? Yeah. That's probably a really, really long brew day for sure. Yeah.
Hey,
don't tell your wife you'll be home late tonight.
So JHG, I understand you have another one you open. What'd you open up? Let's hear about it.
I could not wait for you guys, so I went and went with my Black
Viking
beer. Yeah,
nice.
This is fantastic. Simple. It's zesty ginger and sweet wildflower honey, and it has both, and it's not overpowering. It's smooth. Just the nose on it is pure ginger, which is fantastic, and it's not like one of those like in your face ginger like smells. It's just
What's that beer again?
It's a Zinga beer.
Black Viking Zinga beer.
Zinga beer. Okay, interesting. Okay.
So, John, I don't know if you've ever. Greg and I have talked multiple times. We went to Barrel and Flow, which was formerly Fresh Fest, and that was a featured beer there. That's
nice.
So Black Viking is by our guy Sean from Black Viking made it. It's a really excellent beer. I have one of them in my fridge downstairs.
It's a DC local beer. They're out of Maryland.
Yeah,
and they distribute just in the DC area. I was able to get my hands on it because they only distribute in a small number of shops around here. So I had to drive around a little while until I
no brick and mortar yet. We're working on
it.
Yep.
Okay.
Real fast though, I want to know if anybody has seen this.
Yes.
Oh God, what? No, oh God, I can't.
No,
yes,
it's got to be.
Yes.
It's got to be terrible, right? It's got to be
terrible.
It looks terrible.
Yeah. Okay. So there are aspects of it that were seem like period accurate, but at the same time, like the melodrama is like way out there. So if you don't like melodrama of any sort, then you should definitely not watch this at all. But again, they do show some beer, or brewery related items there and whatnot. But it's super melodramatic.
I started it. I didn't. It was one of those.
I
Doug,
struggled. I struggled through it, man.
Yeah, Doug, you know how I am with starting these shows, and if you don't impress me,
fuck
like
this, and then you come back like, oh, this is really good.
Right, if you don't impress me in 3 seconds, John,
not hooked.
I'm out. Like
caveat.
It's really
caveat.
bad. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caveat. There. I finished that series. The other beer brewery related series where the guy, pissed in the beer to kind of ruin his coworker's brew. I can't remember the name of that series, but it was like supposed to be like a kind of a beer like comedy / funny
like
series.
Was it the really raunchy one?
Yeah. So I made it like
about.
2.5 episodes into that. I never finished it because that was just too much for me.
And you finish
that a
most
Netflix
things,
one?
so.
Non-people making fun of beer is just like you. Every time you see like non-beer people like doing beer memes and beer jokes, I'm like, talk to a beer person. We love shitting on ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you clearly have not talked to a beer person when you made this joke because we shit on ourselves all the time. It's like it's like 2022, like, hipsters and beers and IPAs, right? And you're like, yes. Fuck, we get it. We fucking get it.
Dude, again, like everyone, just go watch Doug's TikTok, like from last week. Just it's all you need. It's fine.
Yeah. Doug Balicki's TikTok is like out of control, awesome. Like he's just really great.
So, do we have any good? What are y'all favorite beer shows that you can recommend for people who want to? Because obviously, this
I don't have any. I watch a shit ton of.
This ain't it. Wait, you don't have any, Doug? Like, I mean, there's some classics. You can't even name any classics, or what do you got, Dan? You're the TV guy.
I like again personally out of everything out there. I mean, Sam's series on Discovery that was way back when on Discovery. I enjoyed aspects of that series a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Brewmasters. So that's probably my number one. Believe it or not, 3 Sheets from Zane Lamprey, comedian. I enjoyed it. And it's not beer, 100% beer, but it is beer adjacent or centric. So on certain episodes, like in Vietnam, he does the fresh beer over there. So I enjoy his humor and his approach to things. So, but again, a lot of their stuff, like I'm kind of like, it's like it's a little cringe. It's like I mean, like back in the day, the Brewdog series they did was interesting, but it still felt like I don't know, like pushed,
little put on,
little like overproduced,
And this is before we found out who they really are.
Yeah, right.
That was before all that mess. What were you gonna say, John?
I have this weird thing. I don't know if it's because I've been in the game so long, or I'm just like super hyper protective of the industry that I've spent so much of my life in. But I really, I don't know. I have a hard time listening to outsiders talk about the industry because it's always so uninformed, and it comes in with so many assumptions, and then also, and this is going to sound kind of, I don't know if it's going to sound shitty or not, but I also feel like in so many forums, when you have these people interviewing like these high level beer people, like Brew Dogs or like a Sam Calagione or something like that, it's these super canned, super everybody's happy go lucky, like super like, you know, a coach after a sporting event where it's just like, oh, we just got to keep working hard. We got to win those 50-50 balls. And, you know, just, we're not worried about so-and-so. We're just worried about the next game on the schedule. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I find, I guess as a beer person that spends like the last 12 years of my life, spends almost every day of my life around people who are into beer or making beer or whatever. I personally gain like no insight out of these things, and so I don't watch them. It's just like,
do you feel it's kind of like a rehearsed kind of Madden quote? It's like, you know, if you're really fast and you're a good you might be a good wide receiver kind of thing, you know?
There's no actual, like, there's so little commentary like on the actual stuff, like the hardcore commentary that we've seen the past couple of years that kind of spurned off the Me Too stuff has been great because it's kind of shed light on some of the things that need to be talked about in the beer industry, which is good. But when you're talking about like liquid and stuff like that and what is or isn't selling, I find hardly any insight. It's almost like nobody wants to rock the boat. It's always just like everything is just canned and watered down, and it's just like, I'll watch these like craft beer conferences and they'll be talking, and I'm just like, oh, we have the owner of this company, the owner of this retail chain, the owner of this wholesaler, the owner of this brewery. And then like somebody has just like the head of like the Nielsen ratings talking to them. And I'm just like, when's the last time you guys have actually fucking sat at a bar and talked to anybody who drank beer? You know what I mean? It's all this it's just everyone's just jerking each other off. And it's just, I don't know. That's just I'll keep my diatribe to just that. But so
I feel you, man. I feel you because there is a kind of a transparency that a lot of people kind of don't seek out. On that perspective, so I definitely understand that mindset. I think, and I feel like you're not alone. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way, that where they're it's more about the spot, the PR piece, than it is of the actual liquid itself.
And there's that, and there's no discussion, but there's not even like the proper critiques of liquid. It's just like you don't see anybody shitting on anybody's product like ever. You don't have that Anthony Bourdain that's going out there and being like, this is how it really is. This is what it's like in the shit. This is what it's like making 40 grand a year, grinding out IPA after IPA after IPA in a hot ass fucking brew house for 60 hours a week. You know, here's the cool shit, here's the bad shit. It's almost just like there's still this sort of underdog mentality where it's just like, if somebody breaks that sort of seal, it's like, oh fuck, we're all gonna lose because they're gonna know the secret to it. So I can't let anybody in to our little insular community because then they're gonna like they're gonna find some sort of reason to attack us on this one critique that I have of this one of the 95. How many breweries are there? 9,500 or 10,000 breweries in this country? You know, over 9,000 breweries in this country. And so I find like all these things, they sit there, they just like suck each other off. And I'm just like, I find no insight into anything that you're saying. It's just everything that you're saying is shit that I knew 2 years ago, but I saw it in person. And now you're finally looking at the fucking data. And now you're just telling me what I already saw in person with my customers that would come in every single day. It's like, yeah, I knew this shit. I know no one's drinking this anymore. I know where the trends are going. But you're like, oh, the data says this. Yeah.
All right, John, just go watch the Bears and shit.
That's even more depressing. Right.
What about this one?
Dude, that's fun as shit, dude. I tell you what,
fun.
Like, yeah, I watch that shit and I just like immediately want to go buy a case of Busch Light and just like get stupid.
So this is a good one, right? A good beer related one.
Well, yeah, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay,
right?
Cool.
So I mean, again, being at that being said, being at Lakefront, those years ago when I first met you, Greg, kind of reliving that Mork and Mindy moment in my head. I mean, not movie, the Laverne and Shirley, excuse me, moment in my head. That was great for me. I had a great time with that.
Yes. I got another one here for y'all too. I just want to, before we get to Doug, and Doug's gonna go crazy here. And probably off a beer. But what about this one? Here we go.
Never seen it.
Oh my God!
Really?
How have you not seen that?
That is Strange Brew. Come
Hashtag
on,
watch party. Let's do it.
Doug, this is what I was talking about when Doug, this is what I was saying.
great-
Old school beer shows.
Yeah, that's
This is what I was talking about.
And the thing is, like, I didn't even think of that, but that is such a great, funny fucking beer movie.
Yep.
And Rick Moranis, who's like fucking 24 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna tell you, that movie just like is so dumb and so funny.
Yep.
It literally it's not anything highbrow whatsoever. You
No,
go
for
in just
sure.
being like,
Hell no.
hey, you're gonna be quoting that shit later. That's just the kind of movie that it is. It's just like it's so dumb, but it's like completely great.
Oh yeah,
So-
eh?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Take
all
off,
right.
Take off, poser.
Take
Like-
off the hoser.
It's all Canadian based. It's all
Oh, yeah.
Canada. Like, oh my God. And Max von Sydow is in it, which is really fucking ridiculous, but it's fucking great.
Let's see here. I got one more, and then we'll bring on another. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
that is
never heard of this one. I've never seen it before in my life, but it comes up on my search here. Let's see here. Let's bring it on here. What do we got? Yeah, I'll ever see this one. Where are we out here? I should have prepared, Doug. Normally I prepare. But you ever see this one?
No.
No, okay.
Wait,
No.
Ron Livingston did it?
Wow, those are some
Anna
names.
Kendrick?
Those are some names.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ron
Living
Livingston
Wild,
are fucking
Anna
awesome.
Kendrick, Anna Kendrick,
I'll
Ron
be
When they
Livingston.
weren't names.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've always had a crush on Anna Kendrick. If she legit's drinking a black IP and a tulip there, then it's just all over.
Right. It looks
Yeah,
like she is.
Yeah, it's all over. It's all over. I don't even like black IPAs, but you know.
Yeah, well, and Anna Kendrick is like fucking 5'1", and
Oh yeah, she's a
the
tiny,
tiniest human.
tiny human being.
Fucking sing her ass off. Like if you've
Yeah.
ever seen the dumb, what's those fucking singing movies she's in?
La La Land.
No. She's in.
La La Land. That was Emma Watson.
No, that was Emma Stone. That
Emma
was
Stone. God.
Emma Stone.
0 for 3.
Pitch Perfect.
Boom.
Pitch
0
Perfect.
for 3.
Pitch Perfect. Dan
Thank
pulled
you.
it off in the private chat.
Dear
It was
God.
Pitch Perfect. She
Right.
was great in that. She's really funny and could sing her ass off. So yeah, good job, Dan.
Aka,
Thank you.
excuse me.
Aka, excuse me.
Sorry.
Good call.
So full disclosure, I used to be an acapella group. That's so
Nice.
it's even
Well,
more.
what was the name? What was the name?
Wait, what?
yeah,
what was the name?
give us the name. Give us the name. Give us the name.
Company
What was the
B.
name?
Company
Company
B.
B.
Oh, that's not punny. I need
Wait,
something
wait,
over
wait.
the top.
You know, Company B was like a Latin dance group name, right?
Well, so
They-
Company
they
B
did
is
a- they
as
did
in
a
the
song called
Boogie Woogie
Fascinated,
Bugle
which was
Boy
very
of.
popular.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a boogie. So basically, we sang strictly songs that were released pre 1980.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. All right.
Okay. Dan, you ever see this one?
I did see that one. Yeah, it was, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. I guess I'd say I enjoyed it more than the Beer Fest one, the Oktoberfest one. But yeah, just a little bit more than that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Not too much. I guess there's a reason why none of us have ever heard
Anna Kendrick. Yeah, I'm right with John there on Anna Kendrick. So yeah,
it. Okay.
there it is. Yeah.
So is it worth it just for Anna Kendrick?
She's great.
For me, yeah. I mean, again, I thought there was, you know, good chemistry between
Rebel-
everyone in the cast.
Rebel Wilson was really good.
And-
in it. She was really
And
fun.
is it a beer movie?
No.
Would you
Oh,
consider
Pitch
it-
Perfect. No, Pitch
No,
Perfect.
this I'm talking.
That
You know,
is.
they do talk about beer, you know, through a good chunk of it. Basically, it's not. I wouldn't say it's beer centric, but there is beer in the conversations throughout the movie. Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is in it too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis.
Like you said, it was a lot of big names, and like that's why it was so surprising when it came out. I'm like, So are they going to give you an interesting and a raw take on relationships as it relates to people involved in the brewery, or is this just going to basically be a kind of a light screenplay on with little hints and wisps there, which is probably closer to what it was probably. But yeah, it was it was fine for what it was. I wouldn't like tell people to go out and watch it, but it was fine.
We're on a beer centric show, so I just wanted to make sure. Speaking of someone who's not beer centric, or is he?
Here we go.
There we go.
Wow.
We're doing it. Excuse me, I'm beer centric. I have a beer right here.
Yes, you do. What do you have? What do you have?
You know what I have? I will look down and figure it out. This is from a couple years ago. It was in my fridge. I already opened it. It says on the bottom of it. Yeah, it's a Golden Road. I don't know if that means anything to you guys.
Wait, did you
speaking of failed TV programs with featuring Meg Gill, I'm sorry.
It says it was packaged in June of 2018. Are we still good? It's in my fridge.
It's not going to make you. It's not going to make you sick, but
it's a SoCal wheat, and it says it has hints of a wheat ale with coconut and lime.
That's not enough adjuncts, Zach. Jesus Christ! Add some more stuff to that.
It's all I've got. Oh, we you know what? We have some Sam Adams Oktoberfest in our fridge.
I got one of those in my fridge too. Right now, so
sprinkle some smoked paprika in there.
Keep them coming, Mike. I'm in my hellscape fucking office right now because our house is being renovated for the last 6 years. So I've got
Street Fighter 2, baby.
Got
Street Fighter 2 is
Swiffer over here, and that's it.
Yoga fire.
Perfect.
All right,
what the fuck is going on?
How is the
we're gonna need the Oktoberfest.
Sonic
all right.
Boom.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it tastes like coconut.
We're gonna spend the next 20 minutes just doing random random voice acting from the game.
It's like the beer version of the cinnamon challenge.
Yes.
We're good. We're good.
You're good. That sounded like you were really good.
I mean, I might also need an opener somewhere. A beer bottle.
I wish you could hand this to you. I'd be like,
edge of your bookshelf. You just,
yeah. There's a
one of those.
There's
it wouldn't fall apart.
The thing with the stuff and the foldy outie. No, that's the kitchen, the room. Yeah, the makeshift office.
Zach, the foldy outie is what I call my belly. Actually, it's just so you know.
That's what we're gonna use. We're gonna use your belly to open up the next beer. This one, do we need any statistics on this or anything? It's
why not?
I don't know, a couple % of beer. Where do you find that shit? It's 5%. So I mean, my kid can drink it. By the way, have you guys watched any fucking football lately?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. Why are you bringing that up?
I was just thinking about I don't know, if I was thinking about Franco Harris the other day, and
as you do,
yeah,
as you do.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't talk about O.J. Simpson over Franco Harris.
I mean, I have an O.J. Simpson football card. I got 70s football cards or something. So that's my only knowledge of football is 70s football cards, and then the 2 packs of football cards I got in the 90s. So I'm I don't know, fucking Kurt Warner or something, and the Dallas Cowboys.
To paraphrase the Lonely Island, here, but to kind of change it up a little bit, you answered so fast it was scary. The whole room gasped and screamed, "Walter Perry!"
Yeah,
you know.
This is it really stays in the throat.
That's the
He's got coconut, man.
Hey, Greg,
the pink,
that might be the review of the entire show. It really
stays
in your throat. The foldy outie. The pink foldy outie where the cables are. Next to the
next to the cables.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra right there. Yeah.
Who the fuck is he talking to? Who the fuck is he talking to?
My wife is here. She's trying to get me a bottle opener, and it's not working out. We haven't had we haven't had a kitchen, and we're washing dishes on our lawn right now. Like this, it's a real sensitive time, and I shouldn't be drinking even a 5%. Go to the our fucking bed is in the middle of the fuck. Why did I do this? On the in the extra room, on the table, there's a box. It has things with stuff in it, and then there's just look for the pink, something pink. We're good. I mean, we're all good. Everything's fine.
You sound good. You sound good.
You sound great.
Zach.
Did you guys catch that game last week?
Zach, which one?
I have to know. Yeah.
Which one are we keeping, or which one's got to go?
Which one are you keeping?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we got a bottle opener. We're good.
All right.
We should fold the Audi. It was very clear.
Yeah.
All right. So which one's got to go?
No, which one are you keeping?
Keeping.
Oh, which one am I keeping? Well, doesn't Applebee's have that nonstop appetizers thing going on right now, where you can just sit down at 10 in the morning and stay until they close?
You are the only person on the entire cruise like Applebee's, and everybody's like, that place sucks.
To be clear, I've never been there, so I don't know. I don't know. I was just asking if they have the fucking appetizers thing. The only one. Okay, so first of all, fuck Red Lobster in particular.
Great!
Ooh, that's pretty racist.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I edited it already, but I'm sorry. Olive Garden, fuck off. So it's really if we're keeping one of those four,
Chili's.
I'm going with Chili's. I mean, I'm white. Well, I'm a white father, wow. So I mean, that's what we're doing, right? I'm 42. Right. I have cargo shorts. Fucking head to church.
Hey! This isn't a dating show, Zach.
I'm a 42-year-old father. I enjoy Chili's.
I'm 42. I like cargo shorts and Chili's.
And wow. Chili's. That's the only one of those four that I've been to in the last 10 years. And unfortunately, Chili's I've been to in the last 3 months.
Yo, John, you see how fast we get off the rails here?
Yeah, that was a little Miley Cyrus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you guys catch any good fucking football games lately?
No.
Let's get back on those really interesting rails. How are those Browns doing? I recently discovered that the Browns aren't that great. So let's talk about it. Who do they have on their team? Some guy named Ted.
2-1, bitch. 2-1, bitch.
Oh, are they? Is that a good record?
That's a good record.
They got Jacoby Brissett.
We could also talk about the fucking obscure fucking record with the green record that nobody's heard of that looks really great.
Okay, I got one of those right here, actually. Sounds like you were talking about Esperwave, which is a wonderful. Ooh. It's a vaporwave reimagination of the Final Fantasy VI soundtrack, and if you've never played Final Fantasy VI, you're in good company because I haven't either. But,
I don't listen to the Final Fantasy VI soundtrack much at all, honestly.
But you know what? This one is a fucking slapper. The second I put it on my record player, which I haven't done yet, it was incredible. No, I honestly, it's on Bandcamp, so you can if you look up Esperwave on Bandcamp, and you'd have to fucking spell it. So if you look up Esperwave on Bandcamp, you'll see this possibly nude woman, I don't want to assume gender, and I haven't played the game, so who knows? But the music is just fucking incredible. If listen to Terra's theme, I've been told Terra is a very major character in the Final Fantasy series, at least this game. Yeah, wonderful theme. I love the Final Fantasy music. I've played Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy Tactics, and the rest of them are people start talking and you're all right, fuck it. Which is weird because I talk a lot, so people probably say that about me too.
You might. Zach, did you eventually get a real beer?
Yeah, I got those Oktoberfests up here waiting.
How about?
But we gotta get.
No, don't drink the rest of that.
No. No.
I mean, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I almost vomited, but 8 out of 10.
You remind me of like the chef reactions guy on TikTok. He's
I love him.
He's like 3 out of 10. I'd try it.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean,
3 out of 10. I'd eat all of it. And I'm like, that's
yeah. If you like coconut and you like lime, and they still sell this beer 5 years after I bought it, then sure, give it a shot. It's a local wheat out of Los Angeles, California. If you're not here, you might miss it. So yeah, blink if you're not around in summer.
Thank you, John.
Local,
Local, the air quotes, John. I got that.
Yeah, local. Yeah, Gold Road is local.
Are you guys telling me something major right now? Are they not local? Am I to understand that?
I mean, they're originally from Los Angeles, but they were bought out by Anheuser-Busch like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, those fucking assholes! They just buy out everyone, don't they?
They ruin everything.
Didn't they buy out Sam Adams also?
No.
Anheuser-Busch.
Sam Adams bought out Dogfish Head.
Boston Beer has Dogfish Head, Truly,
Right.
and Angry Orchard.
What else they got?
They're as close.
That's right.
They're craft beer that is close to big beer as possible.
For the remaining 4 hours of the show, can we all talk with Bill Burr like we're from Boston?
Yeah.
Oh yes! Oh my
God. Wicked pissa.
The Brewers Association always conveniently ramps up the how many barrels you can brew and still be a craft brewery. Just
right for Sam.
It always coincides with what Boston Beer is doing.
Also, Zach is not nearly vomiting on this beer, so I think it's a much better option.
Yeah.
It's very it's a very smooth beer that you expect from a place like Sam Adams.
What's
I don't
the
know
date?
Sam that much. Well, a friend brought over a 6-pack like 2 weekends ago, and I said, "Ma'am, that's 2 years worth of beer for me." And I've had one since then, and here's the second one I'm having. So it's it's smooth. It doesn't taste like much. It's perfectly unoffensive. It doesn't really tickle your taste buds, but it sure doesn't fucking punch you in the mouth. So have 7 of them over the course of 7 years.
I have memories of Art Eddy opening up one of those once upon a time ago.
Yeah, Art Eddy.
Where is Art to yell at Zach?
Yeah, Art is the guy who he likes all the Sam Adams stuff, and that's great.
Art likes Sam Adams, and he likes me, so it's like a double thing right there. Right?
Yeah, I don't understand how all that works. Right?
Did you guys play? Did you guys play that new Monkey Ball game? Because it was not great. No one really liked it, but the soundtrack is delightful, and I'm gonna hate taking this out, but let's do it. My fingers are a little wet. What are you gonna do? So if you're a fan of pretty looking vinyl, and I know you are because you're here with me.
Yep. Ooh.
This one looks like
that's
a monkey ball from the game. If you just imagine it rolling.
So the new
down the course.
So the new monkey ball sucks, but the monkey ball that was original was great.
The original one was wonderful.
Yes.
It's a good soundtrack. I mean, it's good enough.
Awesome
but
design.
They released this the day that the new game came out, so no one knew how the game was before we got the soundtrack. No one even knew what the soundtrack was like, so everyone, of course, bought it. I was like, I'll get the limited edition. So the game's I'm never gonna get it back in this sleeve. So
wow.
At some point.
Yeah, that's another day. Hey, you know what? Let's talk about my homie, the Boom Baptist.
What?
So this is comfort food, and I just got an email. This is breaking news. I just got an email from Ship to Shore record company, and they are putting out a version of this. This was out on Bandcamp. If you remember, and maybe you do, maybe you don't, but if you remember, I was pimping a record for whenever that was the NBA Jam record, and it's like a big tape of hip hop and NBA Jam sound bites and stuff like that. This is the same guy. Him and a couple of his friends, Eloquence and the third one. Third one. But they're all really awesome, and the colorway on this is delicious. I think they actually opened a donut store in Texas somewhere. which seems like a weird decision, but whatever. I mean, if you're musicians. So this one looks like it's a like a coffee, like a latte is what they were going for with this variant. So
I would say and or a glazed donut, but yeah,
that's what I would say it is.
Okay, maybe it's a glazed donut. I don't fucking know. There's like a couple different variants. I got one of them. So,
okay,
but it's really nice, like nice beat tape. If you're into like, kind of like hip hop beats without having to have a ton of rapping over it. It does have samples, so it kind of keeps you going. It's good like background music. It's good while you work, provided you want to get up out of your chair. You fucking 10 minutes to flip a record over. Highly recommended, and it's on the new colorway. I believe is green, maybe. And it's on Ship to Shore.
Nice.
He pays me to do that. He doesn't pay me to do it, but whatever.
So, I mean, I feel like they have to release a second volume now called Glazed and Confused.
Right.
I see what you did there.
Anybody else got another beer before Zach gets to his next one?
Yeah, come on.
I do not.
I went for another
Oktoberfest beer.
Ooh, here you go.
Ooh,
Classic. That's a classic fest beer. That's a classic fest beer.
I'm flip flopping back here, with the kind of more OGs with the original Americans, and so going with this one. This is like definitely way more on the later note here.
Yeah.
On the color perspective, but yeah, I'm looking for. I mean, I haven't had this probably. I had a bottle of this probably in like 4 or 5 years, I'd say.
As also to note, so the first beer that Greg drank was the Hofbrauhaus Friesing, and that's Hofbrauhaus Munich. So there's actually there's multiple brands of Hofbrauhaus.
I'm doing some of the hop note on this one, man.
Yeah, it's just they're both called Hofbrauhaus, but it's actually two different breweries.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys know that there's a host chat?
No, not at all.
Just check it out sometime. Scrolling.
John, we're gonna let you go soon, buddy.
No, I just at some point I'm not in a hurry. I just
sounds like
you're in a hurry in the host chat.
No. Zach will try to keep us here to 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's on West Coast time, so he thinks West Coast time equals East Coast time, and we don't do that shit.
And that's just not going to happen.
Nope.
I mean, we could. I've still got a lot of records left.
I know you do.
And I got like 6
put your records
Oktoberfest
on.
Right. Oh. I love in the background of Dan. Dan, we got some action in the background here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There's a human.
Yeah,
there's another human there.
Yeah, the better half is here. She's like delicately in the frame here.
Yeah,
okay. Did you say better half or bitter half?
He said
better half. Wait, no. Definitely the better half. I'm definitely more the better half, 100%. So
look at John trying to get people in trouble tonight. Come on, man.
Come on, John.
No, but it's a fair assessment. A lot of people, might.
Usually Zach's job.
She technically has to work tomorrow, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Right.
Is she playing the Call of Duty beta back there? Modern Warfare 2?
She has no interest in that.
Sounds like no.
Although I was playing Apex Mobile before you guys popped on at 9. So yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. I'm like the least gaming person here, and I have a gaming stream. Anyway,
yeah, baby.
Person here.
Triple L, baby.
What, you are, JHG?
Yeah,
John, do you game any?
Not anymore. I was a pretty big FIFA head for a while, but it's been a few years.
Nice.
So yeah.
And Zach just plays the music.
So I heard. So I saw a headline. Speaking of FIFA, that you'll be able to play with Ted Lasso as your coach.
Yes, as Richmond AFC.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
This is the last year of FIFA. That EA Sports is making FIFA though.
Really?
Why?
So
money?
Suppose it's a money
EA
thing.
is dropping licenses like they are going out of style. Apparently.
Yeah.
There's that.
They're losing their stuff, man.
I know. I have so that's what they said. I have a friend that has done some work in the video game industry that this person swears that it has to do with like the whole Qatar stuff. then they don't want to support. They don't want to support that. That was part of it. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know which
No
side
one does.
is. I don't know which
No
side
one
is
does.
more. I don't know which side is more true. So, but either way,
Why not both?
I'm a soccer person and I don't want to support that shit. You
I know
probably are too.
it's so
You
fucking
are
hard,
too.
man. It's
Right,
just like,
right.
my team hasn't been like USA, like the US national team. Like that is my like if I could have any team win a championship, it'd be them. You know what I mean? And it's just it sucks. It fucking sucks.
At some point, you got to eat that sucky little thing on a spoon because the NFL's dog shit too, right, Zach?
Yeah.
I shouldn't even get you, Zach. I shouldn't even get you started on that shit.
Exactly.
I won't. I won't. So okay. So here's my question. So if the World Cup was in the United States, would it be any fucking better if it was somewhere else that we get to point our stupid ass fat American fingers at? Because I feel like we're just as fucking bad. We're corporate and we're fucking filthy.
Yeah, no, they're
everywhere.
I think it's more about the process, Zach.
There's
than
actual documented like borderline slave labor sort of shit going down.
And we don't have that here. I'm sorry. Do we want to pull up the fucking news?
Not officially sanctioned on U.S. soil.
I'm sorry, we're not only reading the fucking Drudge Report right now, but we got the same bullshit here in this country too. We have so much fucking terrible, regrettable, racist, slavery, fucking abortion banning, fucking woman hating, African American fucking targeting shit here. And if we had the World Cup here, everyone would be like, fucking fly your flags. We're marching down the streets and we're playing some fucking soccer. That's not really a song. I just made that one up. But when it's someone else, we're like, oh, well, they have documented. Don't give me a minute. We're like, when it's somebody else.
So you're saying the position. So you're saying all of America wants to play right forward, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's a reference I don't get, but probably.
No, as in bearing towards the right of this political spectrum. But yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll go with that. I'm just saying we're no fucking better, but we're like, oh, we got documentation.
I'm not saying that either. We have another human.
Oh, there's like people are actually dying building the stadium. So
let him have a sip.
Look at the way he looks at
give him the coconut weed. Give him the coconut weed. Give him the coconut weed.
Look at the way he's looking at his dad. I love that look. Look at how he's looking at his dad.
What is happening?
Hey, are you
exactly? That's exactly my question.
Are you forcing him to listen to your records like on his Bluetooth headsets?
Right.
No, he doesn't have to listen to any of this stuff. He listens on his own.
Technically, I do have to.
I haven't even had a record player hooked up for like 3 fucking months. First of all,
but you keep buying records, so I think that.
And they're just going in the closet right now. They're going in this box. This is the first time I've got to look at them for a while.
Zach's one of those that has one of those storage containers, Doug. And that he keeps the shit in.
The pods in his driveway.
Right, and then soon he's going to be on that show. He's going to be on Storage Wars. Is that what it is?
You can't.
He's winning.
You can't keep records in those things because they'll melt.
Oh, look! See, he already tried, Dan.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right. Anywho, Doug, you got another beer?
I did. So I got some from Minneapolis, Surly.
What do we got?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Surly.
Logic.
Oh, God. Surly. Are we doing what I do when I get a few beers in me? I just start crushing hazies like an idiot.
That's what we do.
I also have a triple IPA in my fridge, but I'm too scared to open it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what us beer people do.
Ooh, that is citrusy.
Okay, Doug, let's go. Let's get a snapshot. I love how Zach's son is imposing his will.
And we've got like 3 inches worth of space in here, so.
Right.
And my fan doesn't work, so.
Awesome.
Right. What do you got? Let's hear.
I like how your son looked up at the fan like, hey, what?
Where's the fan? Why isn't that working?
Doug, nice glass.
I wish it would work.
Nice glass.
I like the look of that beer, man. Looks nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty looking beer for sure.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
This is really, really nice. Very juicy, very citrusy forward. The hops aren't overly done, which is something that I appreciate because sometimes the hops are really kind of forward. This is really good. Surly did a good job with that.
Doug, talk about bad things. Surly was involved in union busting. Just letting you know that.
Yep.
Oh,
I know.
seriously?
It was a beer
Yes.
that was given to me, and I think by you. Oh, no.
No.
Wait. You're right.
No, it was.
Right. I got beer meal.
No. I don't buy Surly because of the union busting thing.
I got that from someone who sent it from me from Minneapolis who lived there.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just.
There you go.
But
I'm just noting.
It was a free beer. Now I wouldn't buy it.
Since Zach's got us talking about bad shit, I wanted to at least put that out there for everybody, for sure. Yeah, they union busted their whole thing and did fire people, and they were shitty about it too. So I try to avoid them, even though they're one of my favorites coming up, and it's disappointing, but shit happens.
I miss Furious. Oh,
oops. Yeah. I mean, they got some good beers, man. Doug, you're bringing the sexy back. Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
Casey doesn't want to come, or Casey, you're gonna jump on, brah. But if you do, we're gonna make fun of Drake and Nickelback and shit like that, right?
And you missed me. I mean, you missed me talking about Flying Monkeys at Canadian breweries. So
I know,
which is good. But like, Canada has inflected. Look, Casey always talks about the bad shit that America has inflicted on Canada. He never talks about Drake, Nickelback. Who else is like?
No. Casey is never once asked to get off his Degrassi. So
right. Get off his grass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Took forever for me to get that one, but what else is Zach? What else is Canada foisted on us that we don't want?
Listen, I'm not going to say anything poor about Canada. I will not say anything poor about Casey. You're talking about two delightful things in this terrible mud ball of a life.
Why do we have
just certain varieties of bacon? That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
John, they could have better bacon.
John, you got something that Canada's foisted on us that we didn't want. That's horrible, right?
What do we got so far? We got Drake.
We got Drake, and that's the worst. That's the worst.
I mean, the Vancouver.
Or actually, Nickelback is worse than Drake.
I would say
the Vancouver Grizzlies. That was kind of
okay. That's fair.
That was kind of
big country.
Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay.
Yeah, dude. It's just
someone said to the Browns or the Maple Leafs of the U.S.
Yes. There we go.
I would say the current iteration is just like they're the current iteration of the Cowboys, where it's just like they're this just like.
I would say that's more accurate.
They're this legacy team, and they're just like, are they going to win
that's probably more accurate,
anything like ever? Like
this is our year.
What about poutine?
And they spend money. Poutine's a good thing. It's great. I mean, like, you don't got to be a fucking rocket scientist to figure out gravy and French fries and cheese is going to be dope.
Oof.
Right? I mean, that's not like someone won a fucking award for that.
Doug, you were just there. What is bad about Canada? Doug, you were just there. What is bad about Canada?
He has no complaints.
There he is.
What did I do to y'all? What did I? Why?
Casey, this is a ploy. This is all a ploy to get you to come on. That's all it was.
I'm going to say one thing about Canada. And when I was in Toronto, it is the most walkable city I've ever been in.
That's that's cool.
It is
it's
awesome.
really walkable.
Like we walked nearly 20 miles in 3 days just to go and do stuff, and it was great.
And if you got a spare you can find it in words like honor and use words like honor and color. If you got any spare use to get rid of.
Well, and I would tell you that
I'm afraid how Canadians spell jewel. Instead of Juul, it's like
Juul.
Wow.
I'll tell you that Edmonton is a very not walkable city in February. Because I was brought up there for a job interview. So fuck that. Fuck that about Canada. Is that I applied for a job there and they didn't give it to me. So, you know.
Right.
I mean, maybe I didn't earn it. Okay, fine.
Right.
I didn't know what I was doing. I got off the plane in fucking shorts and a t-shirt, and even the taxi driver was like, "What are you doing, sir?" And I was like, "I'm from California. I don't know what I'm doing." Like, I didn't expect it to be 30 below.
Well, I think you should have translated it into again. I as a partially Spanish speaker here. I mean, Edmonton de nieve, a huge amount of snow. That would make more sense to me. So
everyone kept asking me where my took was, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I have no clue. In California. Like, is that a sexual thing, or like, I don't know, like, was it?
Hey, listen. We can go on that for a while, but I think our friend
like
John
needs,
our friend John needs to have it out here, or we're gonna go fucking 50 fucking hours.
We still got 3 more hours in the show, so I mean,
yes, we do.
No,
John, man, Greg,
yes,
lead us John out. Let's do it.
Okay, so before John goes, John and where does this John guy pop up from? John and I are doing a series called Styling with Daddy Porter. One beer, one style, one beer expert, that's him, and one beer geek, that's this motherfucker. And we should be dropping shows, John, soon. I know, like next week, soon.
Your boys are doing the editing. Yeah, we got about 12, 15 done, about a dozen done so far. I want to say.
Oh, dude, nice.
10.
Okay.
Something like that. We do a couple a week, and we've kind of slowed down this week, but we are. This is where John. That's why John is here partially, but also just because he's my friend now. He's a good dude, even though Zach doesn't like him, and.
Who do I not like?
And
John?
those should be dropping soon. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to those. Yeah.
No, it should be fun. They go from 20 minutes to like 40 minutes.
No, American IPA, we just didn't stop. Jesus fucking Christ!
Right.
There's no limit to that style at this point. I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, you can talk about it for 9,000. Yeah.
Right.
Over 9,000. Sorry.
Before we go, being a beer expert and everything, I kind of want John to talk about what his favorite, what his least favorite styles are before we get out of here.
Exactly.
We can all talk about it. Casey, do you have a beer?
I can get one.
Okay.
Do that. Let's have John talk.
How fucking agreeable is Casey? Jesus.
My least favorite style. A style of beer that I will never order at a bar is going to be a black IPA.
Oh, interesting. I think that's a very interesting take. Honestly, again, I like them, but I think it's a very interesting take.
I can appreciate the good ones because everyone's just like, "What about Wookiee Jack and like the original Mountain Standard and like Sublime?"
That is what people say.
Like, I can do it if like I got food with me, maybe. But it's just something about, and I know it's not.
Like as a date?
I know it's not roasted malt. I know it's not roasted malt, but there's something about the dark malt, and it's always like super aggressive, like OG West Coast, like hops, like your Cascades and your Chinooks and your Simcoes and shit. And they come off as so fucking bitter to me that I get a headache almost immediately. Like I can drink a half of one, and I just get a headache, and I just can't drink it anymore. It's just I don't know. I don't know what
problem.
I don't know what it is about the style. It is a personal problem. It's just it's nothing.
I mean,
nothing inherently wrong. Nothing inherently wrong with the beer. It's just something that I just don't ever want to drink, ever. I
have a local brewery that I love, and they made a pastry stout, and like I had like 3 ounces of it. I'm like, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure, can't do it this shit anymore. Yeah, black IPAs in the same way. Black IPAs. It's just there's just too much. It's just too much. That I will say that, and then anything that's imperialized that doesn't need to be imperialized. Don't need an Imperial Pilsner. Don't need an Imperial Oktoberfest. Don't need an Imperial Brown Ale. Just, you know what I mean? Just, yeah.
Can you describe an Imperial process for the non-beer drinkers?
What about an Imperial Grodzitsky?
Well, you find me a fucking Grodzisky, and then I will then we'll go from there. I've never had.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. I want someone to just do an Imperial Grodzisky for the sake of just doing it because like they have to call it like General Grodzisky or something like that. I don't know. General Grod.
And so many times, like those imperial styles are just like, no, you just fucked up your fermentation. You're like, what do I call this? It's an 8% beer. It's supposed to be 5.5%. Let's call it an imperial X, Y, and Z. Imperial just means
bigger.
Can't
call it
bigger and stronger.
European export lager.
Yeah, just imperial, just bigger and stronger than the normal version of it. Like Avery Brewing had a beer called the Kaiser, an Imperial Oktoberfest, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking. Oh yeah. I don't want a 10%. I don't want a 10% Oktoberfest. I want a 5 to 6% Oktoberfest. Like just yeah. Agreed. Same with brown ales and all this pilsners. I'm like, no, I don't want to get a fucking Imperial Pilsner. Give me a crisp, refreshing fucking dry Pilsner. Like
so basically, to answer Zach's question, is pasteurizing any beer is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not necessarily that because like there's a fun story behind the Imperials. There's like a fun story behind like the first Russian Imperial Stout, but it's just imperializing all this shit. It's just like, and you don't see it much anymore. But for a while,
story behind imperialism.
I'm not asking for a triple ice box.
Imperializing, not imperialism. Imperializing.
I'm asking for an imperial wheat wine. Sorry, Doug. I just gave you a wet dream right there. I'm sorry.
or like when someone's just like, oh, we saw this new brewery. They have a quadruple IPA, and I'm like, okay, it's a fucking double. It's a double IPA. If it's over 7.5%, 8%, it's a fucking double IPA. It's whether it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%. It's a fucking double.
Hard.
They're saying, well, it goes beyond the 2.5% range of what normally is on guidelines, that we have to call it something different. I'm like, no,
exactly. It's a quadruple. Like, well, what do you mean quadruple IPA? Cool. It's a super strong IPA. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And on that note,
I agree.
On that note,
thank
you, John.
On that note,
I don't want to drop the mic and hurt your ears.
John's gonna come back here. Al.
Cool.
Thanks, Sean.
I want John. I would love to hear you come back for the Mad Elf commentary later.
There you go.
Okay.
Just saying. Yeah. I mean, Kevin, you and Kevin need to have a conversation at some point.
What's the?
Were we not playing them off?
What are you talking about?
So, Mad Elf, you don't want Mad Elf.
Have you got another 30 minutes, John?
What am I missing? What am I missing?
Mad Elf is.
You're right. Sorry.
Mad Elf is a what?
It's a Christmas ale from Trogs Brewing out of Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it's a cherry honey wheat ale that is like 12% ABV.
Oof.
And I love that beer.
Right.
So much, and so many people fucking hate it. And
sounds like something I want to make a reduction out of and put it over like a pork tenderloin or something.
It would be great on a pork tenderloin.
Or like a duck.
Pomegranate seeds on top.
First person who can get it, ship it to John. And let's make it happen.
We'll ship him one.
I will ship it to you. I'll be happy to take that.
There's a local butcher that sells these pre-smoked brine pork chops that are like super thick. Maybe make like a reduction sauce for that.
There you go.
The beer is great too. Don't let anybody fool you.
Don't let Kevin or anyone else fool you on that. Yeah.
So John, we have a show where we just bring people on and everybody drinks it and then you tell your opinion. So we're gonna send you one and we'll see if we can make the dates line up for you. But wanted to thank you for everything you do. Y'all be seeing more John with me coming up here soon. And John, see you soon, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Thank you, John.
Cheers.
Thank you, John.
Cheers.
Fuck off, John.
Hey, Zach, you should control your son more from saying shit like that.
Ooh, yeah. Son, you're going to be grounded.
It's a small room. It's a small
not appropriate.
No, like Zach like called this like his like he's calling his familiar here. He's like I'm like throwing the extra crazy super attack.
Do we like John? Because Greg set me up like I was supposed to hate him. Do we like him? Like do we know anything about him?
We like John a lot.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I mean, I don't know.
They invited him back, man. Like
Greg said, you always say that, like when your neighbors come over and you hate them, and you're like, oh, you should come back sometime, and you close the door and you're like, man, fuck those guys.
I never say that. No. If I don't want you back,
you're Canadian,
you'll know.
so I mean,
you'll know.
So us Americans, when you have your neighbor over and then when they leave, you're like, oh, fuck those guys.
See, Zach, see, Casey, that'd be a very strange brew.
Doug, now I got to find another beer expert for my series.
Greg, you're the one that said I fucking hated him. I don't know. I played it up. I thought I'd go with it. I'd run with it. You're the host. It's your show, man. You're like everyone appreciates you here except Zach or whatever you said. And so I was like, all right, I'm the heel. I'll run with it.
By the way, Zach, you should know that we warned him about you before you came on the show.
Oh, is he not a regular? Does he not?
No. I was like, hey, just so you know, when Zach comes on, the comments are going to go fucking off the fucking rails. He's like,
sorry, John.
And then you came in and he's like, holy fucking shit. I'm like, yeah, that's Zach, man. You're fucking it's great. We love having you on. You love making all the comments. It just was like you didn't realize just kind of fucking how far it goes.
Casey, what's in the glass?
No, nothing yet. But when Mr. Doug Ziegler came up to Tirana, as we call it up here, he did bring 4 beers. So I drank 3 of them already. I started with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they were great. So I started with one that was a French toast strawberry, which was really good. And then I had a Kolsch. And then tonight I opened up a key lime pie from.
Whoa, you didn't say. I would love to hear what you think about that.
It was really good. No, it was just like, I had Sarah try it too, and she doesn't really like sours, but she was like, "This is really good." Like it's basically
it tastes like a key lime pie as a beer.
Yeah. It's a sour take on it, which means the one I have left is from Duclaw Brewing, and it is a sour meat, dark and stormy sour.
Ooh,
I want to see.
Yeah, so
I heard that once you go dark, you never. Do something that rhymes with dark.
I can't. Oh my god. Ooh.
Is it true though, Casey?
Oh my god. I'm not answering. Once you go dark, you fail to remark. There you go.
Yeah. Greg, I know you like to drop off your own show. Can you tell John I don't really hate him?
You could tell him yourself on Twitter. I just tagged you.
Is he okay?
That is good.
My phone's kind of tied up.
All right.
Yeah, you can get to it. It's all good.
Dark and stormy with a bit of a sour bent to it. It's like the perfect blend of 2 of my loves. I love dark and stormies, and I love sour ales. And yeah, Doug will know this. Like we went to a vegan restaurant, and the dark and stormy like non-alcoholic cocktails there were like
that was great, wasn't it?
It was amazing, but they're like $14 each. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. I'm having multiple.
It was expensive, but that NA cocktail that was just like
good.
Spot fucking on. That's exactly how a dark and stormy cocktail is. So
14's not bad.
For Toronto, it's up there. Usually it's like it's a little less, but this restaurant in particular is kind of like right next to our shishi area. So I was just like, I wanted to make a good impression and also go somewhere that I thought was delicious. So I was like we're going.
It was delicious. It was delicious.
It was really
14
good.
14 is approaching New York pricing almost. I mean,
but there's no alcohol in it. It's non-alcoholic.
Or 18, then
it's all niche. It's
really
niche.
So
it's still a craft thing.
Exactly.
There's no alcohol in burritos either, and you can get a $14 burrito.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
How
fair
did you
point.
compare it to a burrito?
Yeah, now I want a burrito, man.
I do too.
Dan, don't say that because we know the next thing is you're going to be door dashing your burrito to your house.
Yes, 100%.
Can we get Whit Honey? If you're listening, bring us burritos.
Whoa. Let's not have Whit Honey show up at your house again. That was fucking great, by the way. That was great.
He brings a burrito.
We're like, hey, Whit Honey. We're like, what? And then he fucking at his next house. Like,
right.
What the fuck is this?
I feel like you have to take the Pee Wee Herman thing and say Mecca Honey High, Mecca Honey Ho. and then he appears.
I believe you mean Mecca like a high Mecca hiney ho, Mecca like a high Mecca hiney ho, Mula Mecca hala Mecca Mula hey.
Honey ho, because it's Hone. Yeah.
Also, I just want to say that I'm really happy that Casey, you had all of those. Like I was.
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah.
It was all good. I tried to start with one that I felt would be like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but they all turned out really, really well. But I'm very happy that I saved the key lime pie and the dark and stormy for last because I'm like, these ones are gonna be the ones.
That key lime is the best key lime beer I've ever
kicks.
had.
It kicks so well.
So good. Like Dan, I don't know if you've ever seen that there's a key lime pie sour from Smutty Nose out of Philly.
Yes, yeah.
That thing is the best key lime beer I've ever had. It tastes exactly like a key lime pie in a beer.
There's only one other
oh my god.
There's only one other that I had that was really good, and it was from Colorado. Can't remember who it was now off the top of my head, but I'll have to go to my Untapped to check a look at it. But yeah, there's one other one that came close. It wasn't like was like so if that one's like a 97 on the key lime pie scale, this is like a 90. It was like a 94. So
yeah.
Yeah,
hey,
I was telling
JHG, by the way, you've been really quiet. Are you all right over there?
I'm taking this all in. I'm good.
He's taking the legal
I'm about
notes.
to go for another beer, so.
Yeah, do it, man.
Do it. We're all drinking.
Open up the garage door behind you and go fucking get another beer. Roll the shit up.
That's right.
Walk out in the street.
All right, give me some.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, sorry. 2 guests that fucked off.
I did want to go local for this one here, so I did.
That was the one I recommended. Yes.
Yep, exactly. So we did the. I actually have 2 more of these left. I got a 4-pack of this, but
Oh, nice.
So I had 2 of them already, but I felt like I had to do this one. So I mean, definitely kind of like this, super kind of
Oh, look at the color of that. That's lovely.
Yeah, this is like brilliant, kind of burnt orange, kind of going thing on here on the camera here. It's a little less burnt on the, off the camera. But this is like, again, 100%, malt driven. I love how this feels in the mouthfeel. Again, Americans they don't have the 100% art of the Fest beer, the Märzen, kind of like how the Eyinger, how John so accurately kind of described it, so to speak. But I definitely do love this beer a lot. So I definitely do appreciate this beer.
How dare you on behalf of Americans?
here in America, America-fest. There it is.
Oh, the beer.
There you go, Zach. Camera's back, baby.
Rheingeist.
Now we need the fucking claw to come in.
Yeah, the big hand, the big fucking Greg hand.
I
like how he's like,
yes.
He's teasing us.
Just don't get too Ohio off of yourself,
Hey, so you see how the simplest shit entertains us? You see how this goes down here?
It works well.
Well, we're stupid assholes and we've been drinking, so you can just we're like fucking cats now.
Yes, that's me.
That's good beer.
All right, so what's that Rheingeist beer? What was it from? What is it? Is it a Fest beer? Is it what is its style?
Anybody?
It just says Oktoberfest beer. That's all it says.
There we go.
So, yeah, I would say it's more like Marzen. Okay. It's kind of light though, but
I'm assuming Brock has had this a couple times before. I'm assuming.
This is his. Yeah, they're the biggest regional Cincinnati brewery, right? So yeah, I've heard some bad things about them too, but I can't confirm them. But anyway, I got this in that pack, Doug, of all the different Oktoberfest beers.
There, JG popping one. JG, what the fuck is that? That looks like a goddamn.
I want to see that. Yeah,
that is blackberry cobbler. Sour. I got inspired from all the sours.
Drecker. Oh, damn.
So it's a Drecker. And just tasting it right off the can, it's amazing.
What happens when
it looks like a smoothie?
I mean, can I drop like a scoop of French vanilla on that and just drink it?
You absolutely could. It's just like you could. It's almost like eating it.
Man.
It tastes like you are having cobbler. I mean, it's really just nice and thick and juicy.
That's what she said.
Oh, you beat me to it. Damn it.
I wasn't going for it.
Nice, thick and juicy. Oh, okay.
I was instructed to store this upside down, which I did, and I'm glad I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of. I mean, just look at the way that sits.
All the sediment. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to sit upside down, and I'm glad I did it because now it looks like that.
I mean, but notice that the carbonation is like 100% dissipated. I mean, I'm kind of channeling my inner Jon here at the moment because like the pectin in all that beer that must have dissipated any residual CO2 that must have been in the can. So,
if you crush that can on your forehead, I'll crush mine on mine.
I'm not crushing this on my head.
Go for it. Come on. It's Oktoberfest. I've been told that's a big thing.
It's a thing for sure.
Beer and blood. That was the subtitle of the other one for Netflix.
That's right. Yep.
All right, Doug. So, Doug, this is y'all gonna love this.
Yeah.
Doug, we've been doing this stream for how many years now? 3 years.
3.
There's no way that you haven't needed to fart on stream. So do you?
I farted on stream like 100 times, dude. Like I just.
So do you put the like me?
No. I just
fart.
Yeah, so I can make it so that I don't make a lot of noise.
Oh, so you regulate. You regulate your farts.
Yep. Absolutely.
Wow. That conversation really fell flatulence right there.
I gotta put some records away.
Hey, Zach, you know what you need to do? You need to go put your records on.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
so in honor of Street Fighter 2 behind you, it's like you'll go fart.
But Doug, I used to be able to regulate my farts, but now I can't.
Why are we still doing this?
Regulator.
Florida.
Because guess what, Zach? We run this show. You don't.
Oh,
that is abundantly clear.
Abundantly. Would you like me to come for you?
When I started talking about farts, the number of people who started watching went up.
It did not.
It's a real thing.
And
did you watch The Adventures of Pete and Pete?
You know, is
that your kid on the fucking logo?
No.
So for the lyric that you're targeting here is not let my gat explode; it's let my ass explode.
Yeah. What?
Now switching my mind back into shit mode. Oh, sorry.
Hey, Dan, you just befuddled Zach.
Wow.
That is a real economy.
You made him quiet.
I don't know how to transition.
There is none.
Yeah, Zach got the freaks, and that's a known fact. Before we got checked, they were on the same track.
So Pete and Pete, Adventures of Pete and Pete. Anyone?
Oh yes! Oh my God! Yes.
Nickelodeon. So the Wizard of Loneliness, who is incredible, made a beat tape that uses samples from The Adventures of Pete and Pete. And I mean, there's wacky samples on this. I mean, there's a whole song that's just like a hip hoppy, like vapor wavy version of like Michael McDonald, Keep Forgetting, which actually, call back to the fart conversation. Yeah, it just has a like bass line, but it's got like a harder beat to it, and like it's got the Pete and Pete samples over it. What a fucking album, man! Like it's another one. You go to Bandcamp, Casey, and look up Wizard of Loneliness.
Casey.
And Casey.
Yeah, Casey. Goddamn you. Fucking Casey.
Go call Sarah. I think that's the name I wrote down on my and have her look up Wizard of Loneliness on the Bandcamp and look up this. It's a wonderful album, and you're missing out. Sarah's missing out. Casey.
I brought it up. I want to take a look at it later.
Thank you. There's finally a little fucking respect around here.
So, Doug, unless y'all got more beers, we should wrap soon so we can have.
We're
gonna have a ruckus. Well, we're gonna
what have you been watching, Doug?
You're hitting the Zach mark here, the 3 hour mark here.
Right.
Right.
But
we're getting close.
We got 5 minutes.
I'm drinking G Fuel. We got an hour and 15 left.
That's post production. Right.
I'm not fucking sticking around for the post show. I got to play Splatoon.
Splatoon
just came out.
Splatoon
I got my
3.
dailies.
Oh
yeah.
N-T-E and me. There wasn't Bert to the G.
What's going on this show?
They're all
I'm only coming on when I'm the only guest.
You did not. You did not.
Oh. He was like writing that down too. Like you wrote it down. He's like, I got to say this. He's like, what rhymes with? He was on rhymezone.com. He's like, what rhymes with Rosenberg and me?
Joe
Rogan sitting around in need of some relief.
Joe Rogan
came out that sounded like a queen.
What? And we're back to that again now?
Joe Rogan.
How am I the least
That's amazing.
Inappropriate on the show?
Casey, I'm so glad I did not have beer in my mouth at that point because it would have been all over it. Everywhere.
I didn't do this, you guys. I did not. This was not me.
No, it's not you.
For once.
Here is mine, y'all. That's what I have.
Was that all tonight?
I love it, man.
Here we go. I'm not ranking them. I don't have time for that shit.
You're fucking tired, Greg.
No, this.
Jesus Christ.
I'm getting there.
Oktoberfest, everyone wins except for the people that are bleeding, according to Netflix.
Right.
Are you guys reading the Fortnite Zero War comic? I'm just
I should
asking.
be. I'm not though.
Nope.
You get okay. Well then, fucking next topic. I guess. You guys watch any football?
No, not at all.
Those Raiders.
Doug?
Are the Raiders still a team? Are they the Golden Knights now or something? What's the deal?
Actually, fair play. Legit, I was on a call for a request for proposals response, and a guy had his instead of his profile image, he had the Raiders logo as his image. I'm like, so this is so you're telling me that the Raiders logo is your pinnacle of professionalism when you present yourself in your professional world.
Nice.
So I'm like,
Right.
okay. I'm like, that's fine. I mean, for you, I guess.
Football
I don't know,
season.
but yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well said, Zach.
Yeah, that's
So,
weird. Speaking of weird.
Super quick.
Speaking of weird.
Oktoberfest from the Athletic, which was an NA, which was not bad. Not exactly an Oktoberfest, but good. The next one that I will give is I did the Logic Bomb, which was a hazy, juicy IPA, which is good. I'm not an IPA fan, so not bad. The Oktoberfest that Greg gave me from what was it from? The Marzen Lager from Prairie out of Illinois. This is good. And the Copper Legend, which was good. And then this was the best one, the Theater of Madness, which was a pumpkin beer.
Nice.
I have more beers than I normally have on the show, so thank you for dragging this out.
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate that.
See. To me, any extension of any show is 100% attributable to the Zach factor. Is what to say.
Greg wants to know if you've ever seen
I thank you, Zach, for extending my enjoyment factor.
I forgot I've been drinking.
Right.
Coconut lime.
Oh yeah.
In your mouth.
Oh no, I remember. Doesn't Doug look like I don't know how many of you have actually been to like Disneyland in California. I don't know if it's the same in fucking Florida or Russia or whatever. But I was gonna say Doug looks like there's at the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean. There's like some fucking old guy sitting on like on the bayou picking a fucking guitar or some shit with like fireflies around him. Like Doug looks like that shit. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
10 million fireflies.
Wasn't that that song by the guy? Is it? Am I reviewing my hyper local Golden Road SoCal coconut wheat? Got a picture of California on it.
From 18 years
Let's
ago.
be happy it wasn't the Golden Shower Road. So.
Oh God.
Sorry. That's the beer talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, have you been drinking?
Just a ducky,
Oh God.
JHG,
So
can you get through this, buddy?
Aren't you
Crush the
glad
can on your
you are,
head,
Casey?
you coward.
I had all that.
Yeah.
Just crush one of them. Choose one and crush it on your forehead.
Dude. I mean, I love again. JHG gives me. I got JHG number 1 glassware, and Doug gets a close second.
How about that?
Well, thank you.
Doug and John get a close second because they would have the awesome glassware.
Yeah, but JG has just crushed a can on his head, so
he wins. He wins automatically.
If you dimple it in a little bit, then it makes it a little bit easier to crush it.
Casey?
Yeah, I learned. I just drank one beer. This is the only one I drank on stream. Sour Me from Duclaw Brewing over in Baltimore, Maryland.
Catch up.
Maryland.
Let's not get
Land
into
of the
chips,
Mary.
okay? Because we already talked about ketchup chips before.
But they're delicious. Why would you hate on them?
Also,
I still want a burrito for the record.
do you guys know what Maryland was named after? What Maryland was named after?
Some
If
lady
you
named
guessed
Mary.
Mary, then you're correct. Why are we so fucking uninventive? Like, our states are the worst fucking names because they're like, we have a Carolina, let's just make a South Carolina.
North
and then
we have a Virginia.
Yeah, and then the Dakotas did the same thing. They were like, you know what? We're gonna do that in the Dakotas also.
So if Drecker opens up another facility south of them, then, it'll just be South Drecker.
There's Dakota. Let's make north and south of it.
We never committed to doing the Bill Burr voice for the rest of the show.
We should have done that.
I can't do that long.
I mean, you can learn. That could be the whole point of the show. We got 3 more hours.
We don't.
Pull up some YouTubes.
I'm an old motherfucker. I can't go through.
Are we not playing? Are you not going to play Splatoon with me later?
No, I
might. We might. I might.
The Fortnite birthday challenges are out. We're going to do those. We're going to crush them.
My kids want me to buy Splatoon 3, and I'm just not doing it. We don't have enough time. We do not invest enough time playing Splatoon for me to be like Splatoon 2.
But you could.
You just want the Goku stuff from Fortnite. Let's be honest.
I have it. I have that stuff.
All right.
No, actually, I don't buy skins. I mean, okay. What, Greg? What are we watching?
No.
Next topic.
We have a show to talk about.
No. Hold on, Doug. We're going to let our wonderful guests go before we do this, so we can do it and get it done. Otherwise, we won't be.
We'll be here for a long time.
What about Dan? What about Dan's rating? Oh no, he did his.
So it's very simple. Iyengar is number 1 by far. I would say Grimm is a close second, and I would say Hacker,
big ass window,
Radiant Pig, and Hawkbow are kind of all in line with each other. Pretty simple.
Are you in a college dorm room, you pervert?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because
what's with that fucking window? Do you have a telescope right next to it? Are you
that is German.
So we're we are going to gracefully move to.
We're past.
I don't even to post production.
Yes.
I'm going to drop y'all down to the green room. We're going to have a little bit of a conversation. We'll see y'all in 3 minutes or something like that.
This feels racist.
So you can grab. Bye, Zach. Dan, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It's been awesome.
And thank you.
No, it's been great to see you guys.
Y'all will be in the green room in 2 seconds. Casey, you're a co-host, so you don't get banished to the green room.
You get to
right.
I'll just chill. I'll just chill.
But we love all our guests, but we would have never got off if we'd have let them on. Doug, why you have to talk about this? So, yeah, Lauren, you want to jump on?
Yeah, Lauren, we're
Join
here.
us,
Lauren,
Right,
you get to jump on, my friend. Come on.
Right. So,
whether
Doug,
you like to or not. All right.
Doug, the floor is yours.
All right. So our one sometimes co-host Renee Pickup and I,
yes,
and Greg, you actually kind of instigated this, and we thought it was a great idea. Is Renee and I are both giant fans of watching shows and looking into things that are cult related. I don't know why. I am fascinated by people that are gullible enough to be a part of cults. Renee was actually part of a cult. I was not. So it's going to be a really great idea. So we decided to make something called the Cult Bar. The Cult Bar is a live stream where we have comments and questions, kind of similar to Brothers Booze, but related to cult stuff. So the cult stuff is we are going to talk about cults in the show. So when you're in the show and you want to comment on it, you can comment and ask questions, and Renee and I will answer them and talk about them because culture is fascinating. It is ridiculously fascinating. The Cult Bar is us having beverages while we talk about cults. So we're going to have all the stuff kind of next week. We'll give you kind of a full slate of where you can find us. We have not ironed out exactly what. We're only going to do this probably monthly because, we're both busy folks. So it's not something we can do weekly. But we're going to kind of pick a cult that we want to talk about. And we're going to talk about it. And you folks can comment and make questions and kind of just join us on this journey where we talk about cults and just I can kind of dig deep into this weird shit that people get into. So we do not have a day of the week yet, Lauren. We're working on that. Cult of personality is great. That is that is not something that we have exactly aired out, but we're not going to do Living Color as a band as our opening. As much as I would like to, we cannot afford that. But the Cult Bar will be open in a couple weeks.
It is a great song.
Great song, but we'll be opening that in a few weeks. So.
But you realize you can never go mainstream though. Like you can only have a cult following with the show.
That's a fair point. We didn't think of that.
Wow, that's awesome though.
Kind of once a month is what we're thinking, JHG, because there's a lot of cults, but it's not something where it's sustainable. Like if we did it every week, we would be out of cults in a year. If we did it every week, 52 cults. Unless we went into really kind of obscure shit. So it's more when
you said there's a lot of cults, I was like, there's that many?
Holy crap. There's a lot, but it's not something where you can be like, there's 52 cults. But there's not 300 cults. You know what I mean? So it's not like we could be like.
Are you talking present day cults or are you talking old school too?
Oh, we're gonna go all over the place. The first one we have is a present day thing that is actually a bit true crime and cult. So it's going to be a little bit of a mix. Are y'all
going to talk about TV shows or media things that?
We're going to delve into that. A lot of things we're going to talk about are related to TV shows, but also background documentary stuff,
news pieces,
all that stuff. It's going to be it's just going to be interesting because I am fascinated by the cult stuff. How do people get roped into it? How do people get pulled into this thing that seemingly to me seems fucking nuts? And then I have a partner in the show who has actually been in one. So someone who hasn't, and then someone who has, and we can kind of discuss how the mindset is and how do you get into that. So it's
respectfully, really yes, and your co-host is not a dumb motherfucker either.
No,
so
my co-host is smarter than I am by a fucking country mile.
Right. So it's going to be fascinating to see how even she fell into it. It's going to be great. I can't wait. So one more. Oh, okay.
No.
Scared the shit out of me there. So one last time, y'all be hearing more about this on this stream.
Next week.
And yep, and then Doug will have where you can see it when it's going to happen. All that they're still working on those plans, but it's the Cult Bar, and it's part of our family here at the Daddy Porter, Doug Porter, or Doug Ghost, something I don't know. Couchfully Yours, Renee Pickup.
Yep, Renee Ash Pickup over on Twitter. We're going to be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll be broadcasting it live, so anybody can join in and just ask questions or comment. We're going to we want to do it live because there's a million podcasts that do this, but we want to actually have participation.
Do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah, do it live. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Doug, you'll write it and you'll do it fucking live.
Yep. So
right.
it's going to be interesting and fun, and it's going to be a completely different take on doing things that, like, you have lags, libation, and lost saves. We have
crazy shit.
We have Badger Beer Hour. We have this show. So this is just a bit of an expansion out onto something that we haven't breached into, but it's going to be so much fun.
I am helping produce, but you will not see my ugly face on that at all. So
you'll see my ugly face on it, though.
Maybe they'll bring me on as a guest once in a while. That'd be great.
Oh, for sure.
But other than that, this is all Doug and Renee, and they're killing it, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. And Casey, I can't wait to see what you come up with. Is there anything going on with you real quick before we get out of here?
You know what? I'm just happy that I'm in literally the last chapter of my book, Black Dad Matters, because we're more
it's got a name.
than just the headlines. It does. Black Dad Matters because we're more than just the headlines. And, the publisher has been very happy with the words I put in so far. We're at about 55,000 and a 60,000 word commitment. So I'm really at the last bit of it, to the point where we are talking second book already. And I told him, that first one nearly killed me, bro. But yes, we have already got the domain name and title put down for the second book. So I expect to hear more from me very, very soon.
Well, you did this with kids too. You had one and then had another, and then they're gonna kill you too. So either the kids in the book, we got right.
Well, you know what? Funny enough, the second book's title is "These Kids Ain't Loyal." So we'll get there.
Great, and also, stop with. You only need one wife, though, Casey. Stop.
Thank you. I'll take that advice and run with it because I'm pretty sure multiple would not work out so well in this house.
Okay. All right. I think we all agree on that one. And on that note, y'all, we are finished here.
I think so.
Let's thank Dan, JHG, Zach, John, Casey for jumping on.
Yep.
It was a really fantastic time. We're going to do this next year. It's going to be a tradition for us. Next year, I'm going to have a leader hose and a hat. I'm going to try to stick a hat on this mess up here. But other than that, y'all, I am thankful for all y'all that make this what it was. And we'll see you next week with another fabulous guest. I'm not going to tease it. Doug's not going to tease it. You just need to show up.
Yeah, show up because it's going to be fucking boss. It's going to be a boss fucking episode. Yep. Right.
But she is. From what I saw, it's going to be fucking killer. So, I didn't load up what I needed to load up, Doug. So now,
the
have to wait a little bit. Yeah, because it's been a crazy ass day. My kids had COVID. My kids got the COVID booster which almost feels like worse than getting.
Oh, it lays you flat, right? It lays you flat. So
yeah, they were out, so I was running around, but I did make sure I got this done, y'all.